with that, I think when we look at the scoreboard, it'll be where we want it to be.
We talk about all the time the advantages of schools in the CNC being where we're located, so close to Southwest Missouri, that because I don't think there's a school in Kansas that's got 1,400 students enrollment that would schedule Frontenac or Colgan or Galena played teams like that before as well. I really think this is a type of a team that if you do make it back to the state tournament this year, you'll be seeing a team up there in Hutchinson with quality players like you'll see tonight from Carthage.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, this is one of those games that it gives you a reset. It lets you see what you can and can't do, and it is absolutely a sub-state or a state-type game. I mean, this is that quality of a team. So we look forward to it. We want to get started with game 1 before you can play game 20. So we're excited.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time.
Hey, Jacob, cut this break to a 1-minute break, please.
Okay, thank you.
That's Frontenac girls head coach Scotty Fields joining us here on the pregame show. Up next, after this 2-minute timeout, we'll send it back to Heath Atkins courtside for tonight's starting lineups and the opening tip here from Frontenac, Carthage, and the Frontenac Raiders coming up after this on Radio X 103.5.
Haynes Incorporated in Frontenac is the...
All right, got it. It's a minute now.
Vehicles and farm equipment. Haynes can also handle any general machine work and offers 24-hour wrecker service. Call Haynes anytime. 231-3170. Haynes Incorporated is located at the intersection of West McKay and Highway 69 Frontenac Junction. Haynes Incorporated in Frontenac is the driveline specialist.
The true test of a great insurance agency comes when you suffer a loss. It's easy to take your premiums, but Ray Ryan of Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh knows that handling your claim is the most important service an insured needs.
Claim is our chance to let the customer know that we'll be out there, not just that we sold them a policy, we'll also be there when a claim occurs to make sure it gets handled in an honest, respectable way.
Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh, a trusted choice agency. Find them fast in names and numbers.
And now, more exciting Raiders basketball action on Radio X 103.5, The Evolution.
Thank you, Mike Snow and Jacob Ryan, as we just heard from Coach Scott Fields. And he's hopeful for his girls program, as well as I'm sure Coach Ryan Barcelona is, as well for his boys program. Let's go ahead and give you the starting lineup for both teams. We're going to start it out with the Carthage Tigers. Starting at guard, number 3, the 5'7" senior Jillian Brunnert. Another guard, standing at 5'4", the senior number 5 Carly Crow. At post, standing at 6'1", a sophomore, number 35 Haley Fullerton. Guard, number 41, standing at 5'6", the senior Sydney Peters. And rounding it off for the Lady Tigers, the 5'6" senior Mia Duncan, number 43. Now for your Frontenac Raiders, number 4, the senior Maddie Davis. Number 5, the junior Karma Fields. Number 10, also a sophomore, Reagan Hipfel. Number 12, the sophomore, Abby Butcher. And rounding it off for the Lady Raiders, number 24, the junior, Bria Ginnivan. This team brings back a lot of experience. Did not graduate a whole lot, but that's always a good thing, I suppose. Looking forward to this season coming. You're bringing back a lot of talent, not losing a whole lot. This is a team that can pretty much only improve. A new head coach, same coaches in general. Scott Fields has been the assistant for a while, and Martha Harper has been the head coach. She is now the assistant coach, and we are just getting ready for the tip-off. Let me get my papers here in a row. Carthage, this is a team I saw last season. Actually, Colgan played against them last season at Carthage, and this is a team with an explosive offense. They bring back many of their starters and bench players from last year. This is a team that will gas you. They like to run up and down the floor. They like to full court press, and they will get you irritated fast, quick, and in a hurry from the beginning of the game. Frontenac a little bit undersized in comparison to Carthage as a whole, but that can lead to a lot of things, and not always in favor of the taller team. Getting ready for tip off now. Tip is up, and Woods has it. She's going to give it over to Carthage to start the game. Now ball over in the right wing. And we have Brunnert Dishing out over to Peters. Peters in the left. Skip pass all the way over to the top, and that's Fullerton. Fullerton standing at the top of the key, standing at 6'1". Looks a little out of place, but she does find herself back down to the low post. Kicks it out over to the right wing, and that's going to be a long three by Peters. No good. Shot up and rebounded by Bria Ginnivan. And they're going to say Ginnivan stepped out of bounds as she came down with the rebound, and that's going to be Carthage ball. Score is 0-0 with 7:26 left to go here in the first quarter. Let me go ahead and clear this for you. For those of you who are watching online, I'll give you a little scoreboard as well. And there you have it. Still no score as Carthage just tried once again. Now Frontenac has it on their side of the court. Up at the top of the key, it's Bria Ginnivan. Hipful finds Fields and rounds it about. Davis now top of the key. She's calling the offense. Raiders come out in what looks to be a 3-2 style offense. A little unorthodox, but many players are moving, so it's going to be more of a man-to-man style offense than anything. Ball in the hands of Butcher. An early bring in, and shooting from the baseline is Fields. It's no good, but it's rebounded and put right back in. That's Reagan Hipfel with the first 2 points of the ball game. Now Carthage has it top of the key, going over to the right-hand side. It's Peters. She dishes it off to Crow. Back to Peters and a skip pass to the top of the key. Now Crow's going to be taking it back to the right wing. She's working against a 2-3 defense in the Frontenac Raiders. Rounding it back out to the top of the key, trying to reset the offense. A couple of screens being set, trying to get Frontenac off of the ball. And Peters is driving back in, and the ball gets dished right back out to her. A lob over the top intended for Fullerton, and is stolen away by the Raiders. Credit, I believe that was Karma Fields on that steal. 5:50 left to go here in the first quarter. Raiders lead 2-0. Ball inside. And it was Reagan Hipfel, shot up and blocked from mid-range. Carthage has the ball now. Running it over to Brunnert in the left wing. Tried the long three and no dice, but she gets her own rebound, puts up the right-hand hook. Once again, no good, but this time it's put back up by her, I'm assuming, sister, Hannah Fullerton. Shot is up and good. Score is 2-2 with 5:30 left to go here in the first quarter, and Fullerton is sent to the foul line. Maddie Davis credited with the first personal foul, team's first. First shot is up and in. So now Carthage leads 3-2, 5:30 left to go here in the first quarter. And like I said, Carthage coming out now in a full court press, trapping Karma Fields. And Bria Ginnivan gets the ball in the low post. She tries to get the dish down low, and she's going to be whistled on the traveling violation. A great look there. She was looking down low and trying to hit Butcher. And now Carthage has the ball once again. Peters crosses the half-court line and approaches the three-point line. Top of the key. She's rolling around and gets the ball to Brunnert. Brunnert down low to other Brunnert, and she just circles around, and it's tough. It's tough to get around her 6'1" frame, or tough to defend her 6'1" frame. Maddie Davis tried all she could, but Brunnert now has all 5 points for the Carthage Lady Tigers. Ball is poked out of bounds by Carthage. One moment. And we are back. Abby Butcher tries it from distance. No good, but Bria Ginnivan puts it right back up and in to bring the Lady Raiders up, or down by one rather. 5-4, 4:35 left to go here in the first quarter. Fullerton to Fullerton. Carthage just rotating it around, and on the baseline for three. That was Carly Crow. And it is good. A steal on the far sideline. And Bria Ginnivan's going to be whistled for a personal foul as she tried to rip the ball away from what would have been, or what was, the steal. And no, it was not her that was whistled. Rather, it was Carly Crow. So now Frontenac has the ball with a chance to bring it back within 3 or 4, or 2 or 3 rather. Shot is up on the far side by Maddie Davis. It is no good, but a foul on the floor, and that's going to be a foul against. That one will be against Bria Ginnivan. Her first, team second. 4 minutes flat left to go, and the Carthage Tigers are up 8-4 over the Lady Raiders. Fullerton gets it over to Peters in the left wing. Peters drives in with the right hand, almost uncontested until she gets right underneath the basket. Maddie Davis was there for help defense, but Peters puts it in regardless, and now the score is 10-4 in favor of the Carthage Tigers. Skip pass and the press break succeeds once again for the Carthage Tigers. Driving it up the lane, putting the shot up, and no good. That was Duncan for the Lady Tigers. Duncan's shot is no good. However, she will be sent to the foul line. And that foul will be on Maddie Davis, her second, team's third. And Coach Scott Fields will take a timeout. That is a 30-second timeout, and we will take it with him. You are listening to Frontenac Lady Raider basketball here on 103.5 Radio X, as well as listening and watching on ESPN1007.com. 30-second break, and we'll be right back. We welcome you back here to Frontenac, Kansas. Carthage at the free throw line, and Duncan missing her first. Duncan, the 5'6" senior, coming off the bench. Oh, I'm sorry, no, she was a starter. Just came out rather early and is now entered back in. Misses the second, and is rebounded by Abby Butcher. And a scuffle over on Frontenac's side of the court results in a ball gone out of bounds. Last touch by Frontenac. Skip pass over to Duncan. Duncan drives in. She gets to the right wing and is going to go ahead and give it up to Brunnert. Brunnert now at the top of the key, officiating the offense. Hands it off to Carly Crow, now taking over at the top of the point. Carthage just rotating around the top of the key, and finally we get one driving in. That's Brunnert. Her right-hand layup misses. More of a hook shot. Pass inside to Bria Ginnivan, and a couple of skip passes around. Harper with the ball at the right wing. Or Sellers, rather. Sellers at the right wing. She put the shot up. This is no good, but batted out of bounds. And it's Frontenac ball once again. Bria Ginnivan launches it up over the top. It's batted as Hipful tried to get a shot down to the baseline, one of her teammates. Now Carthage on the attack once more. Sierra Negrete at the top of the key. She's picked up by Bria Ginnivan. Hand off to Brunnert. Brunnert now to Fullerton. Fullerton drives outside of the lane, tries to put up the right-hand hook. Shot is no good. But a foul will be picked up by Reagan Hipful. That is team fourth, her first personal. So Haley Fullerton knocks down her first free throw. She now has 6 points on the night, looking for her seventh, as we've only finished just over one half of a quarter. Substitution for the Raiders. Forrest checks in, as well as Meyer. Second shot is up and good for Fullerton, and that gives her 7 on the night already. Her 6'1" frame gives her a lot of advantages. One of them that even when she doesn't score, she still can score from the line. She will attract a lot of fouls. And a steal by Carthage gives them the ball once more. Score is 12-4. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Driving into the lane and putting it up is Negrete, but her shot is no good, does not draw iron. And now it's Sellers with the ball. She kind of corrals it and gets it to Karma Fields. Fields at the top of the key, and Carthage coming out in a 2-3 defense, 2-3 zone defense. A skip pass over to the far side intended for Forrest is going to be batted out of bounds by Carthage, and now Frontenac will retain possession. 12-4 once again, 2 minutes flat left here in the first quarter. Inbounds to Karma Fields. Fields works around a couple of defenders. Nice screen set there by Forrest. Hipful is going to be whistled on the traveling violation, and she knew it when she pump faked for the pass to her right. And now Carthage will take over. Giving the inbounds pass will be Brunnert. And I have been doing a very poor job of keeping score. That should even it out for those of you watching on ESPN1007.com as a steal initiated by Meyer, and she takes it the whole length of the court, dishes it off to Karma Fields, and Fields will put it in for 2 points. 3 Lady Raiders all in the scoring column so far. Score is 12-6. Frontenac Raiders trailing. And a timeout has been called by Carthage. It's a 30-second timeout, and we'll take it with them. You're listening to Radio X 103.5, as well as watching and listening on ESPN1007.com. 30-second break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas. Heath Adkins here as we bring you the Frontenac versus Carthage Tigers here at home. Now on the far side, we have a deep, deep 2 by Karma Fields. It looks real close to being a 3, but it was not, and that gives her 4 points on the night to bring the score 12-8 in favor of the Carthage Tigers, but the Lady Raiders approaching quickly. Over on the far side, a pump fake by Peters as she drives baseline, kicks it right back out to Brunnert. Brunnert gives it to Cabance. And Cabance is going to be fouled on the shot. Shot is no good, but she is sent to the line. That foul will be on Grayson Hipful. That is her first personal foul, team's 5th of the half. First shot was no good, and second one is underway. It's off the front of the iron, no good, so a great foul there by Grayson Hipful. Karma Fields corrals the ball and crosses the half-court line and dishes it over to the right wing. Now back to Karma. She's going to be called. One referee says it was a tipped ball, and that means that it would be okay for Karma to come on the back side of the court. It was a backcourt violation, and the other referee says that it was not tipped, and that is a backcourt violation. They are discussing it now and determining who has possession here. They are calling it in favor of the Carthage Tigers, saying it was a backcourt violation. So now the Carthage Tigers go underway, and it is Peters with the ball at the top of the key. The Raiders have come out now in what looks to be a 1-2-2 zone defense. Negrete gets it over to Peters. Peters inside to Fullerton, and Fullerton gets 2 more points on the night. And that's 9 for her. Frontenac coming back and gets blocked on their trial. And Carthage trying to run the floor, going the other way. And a pass lobbed far too high up for anybody to try to corral, or was rather tipped by Frontenac. It's going to be Carthage ball once again. Fullerton tries the buzzer beater. It rattles around the rim, and it is no good. So after one full quarter of play, Carthage 14, Frontenac 8. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. We'll come back with the second quarter. You're listening to Radio X 103.5 and watching on ESPN 1007.com. 1 minute break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas, where we start the second quarter. Frontenac has the ball, and a couple of shots just put up right before we came back from the break. Now sitting at the top of the key is Butcher, and Butcher gets it over to Ginnivan. Ginnivan tries the long ball, and it is no good. Rebounded by Negrete. Now we have Peters trying a long ball of her own. It bounces off the backboard, off the rim, and into the hands of Sellers. Sorry, that might be Leonard that's in the ball game now. No, it's Hogard. And a shot down in the post off transition, no good for Frontenac. And now Fullerton's going to try a three-pointer. If she had sunk that, you'd think that she could do it all. It is no good, however. And Hogard is going to pick up the ball and try a skip pass that is picked off by Carthage. Carthage, like I said, is going to come out in this full-court press and irritate you and try to get you to make mistakes. And just as I speak of making mistakes, a turnover by Carthage, traveling violation. Ball now in the hands of Abby Butcher. Butcher gets it to Bria Ginnivan. Ginnivan in the right wing as she is picked up by Fullerton. And a nice turnaround to try to get Fullerton on her heels. Shot is up and no good by Karma Fields, and she will be fouled. First foul of the quarter. And that'll be credited to Sierra Negrete. Now Fields will shoot two from the line. Sinks her first. Fields has 5 points already on the night. Second shot is up and good. That gives her 6 on the night, 2 in the quarter. Peters picks up the ball and crosses the half-court line, and she gets it over to Brunnert. Brunnert in the right wing finds Peters at the baseline. Driving in is Negrete. She gets a skip pass over to Brunnert. Brunnert tries the three, and it bounces off the front of the rim, rebounded by Maddie Davis. I'm sorry, that was Reagan Hipfel that got the rebound. Ball poked out of bounds. Last touch by Frontenac, so Carthage is going to get possession of this basketball. Score is 14-10. And now Carthage has the ball on the far side of the court at the baseline. It's Negrete for three, and she sinks it. Her first 3 points of the night come here in the second quarter from distance. I do everything here to update everybody. 15-10 is the score. 6 minutes and 7 seconds left to go here in the first half of play. Bria Ginnivan has the ball at the top of the key. She gives a backwards pass to Butcher. Butcher rounds around a screen, gets the ball inside, and that's Hipfel. Hipfel tried to put up a shot, and she is just surrounded by Carthage bodies. Negrete drives the length of the court, puts up a shot, no good, and it's rebounded by Fullerton, and her shot is up and in. Fullerton, her first 2 points of the second quarter. She now has 11 on the night. She has 11 of Carthage's 19 points, and she has done very well from the free throw line so far. She hits her and one shot. That foul initiated by Hogard, her first personal, team 6th. One more foul by the Raiders, and Carthage will be in the single bonus. Carthage is coming out in what looks like a 2-3 or a 2-2-1 full court press. Bria Ginnevan has the ball at the half-court line, and she breaks the press, gets it inside. Hipful for the mid-range two, and is no good, and rebounded by Fullerton. Carthage taking the ball up. It's Cabance. Her shot is up, no good, rebounded by herself. Reeled in by Frontenac, and a full-court pass to Bria Ginnevan. Ginnevan's going to be whistled on the traveling violation. She came around. It was a 1v2. But she had her ball, or she had her back to the goal and was unable to see how many defenders she had behind her. And now Negrete gets the ball from the inbound. Over in the right wing now, Cabance. Negrete at the baseline. Skip pass to Brunnert. Brunnert to Cabance for the long two or maybe a three. Either way, it was no good. Score is now 20-10 in favor of the Tigers. They've gone on a little bit of a spree here as of late. Karma Fields doing everything she can to try to evade some of her defenders. Bria Ginnevan's going to pull up from the left wing, and it is just short of the goal. And Sierra Negrete is going to step out of bounds as she tries to get it to her teammates after Karma Fields had saved the ball from going out of bounds. An athletic play by Fields ends up working out in her favor, although it very well could not have, as Negrete had control of that ball. Just did not see where her feet were planted. Bria Ginnevan with the inbounds pass, and she tries to dart it over to Abby Butcher. Butcher nearly had it, but it was intercepted by Negrete. And the Tigers still lead 20-10 with 4:45 left to go here in the first half. Fields tries a deep three, and it is no good. Rebounded by Duncan for Carthage. Fullerton drives the length of the field, or the length of the court, passes it off to Brunnert. Brunnert tries the corner three, and no good. Rebounded by Frontenac. Maddie Davis now with the ball. She takes the ball across the half-court line and sets up offense. Butcher with the ball, bounce pass inside to Hipful. Hipful to Davis down in the low block, and she puts the shot up. It is no good, but she is sent to the foul line for her chance at her first 2 points of the night. Maddie Davis, a phenomenal free throw shooter last season. Actually, all of these young ladies shot very well from the free throw line. They all did that because there are a lot of teams out here with a little more size than what they have available. So any free points from the charity stripe are points graciously accepted. Grayson Hipful and Jalen Meyer both enter the game. Jaden Meyer. Davis's second shot is good, so that's her first point of the night. And now Frontenac trails 20-11. 4:13 left to go here in the first half of play, and Peters is going to slow things down. They're going to come out in a 3-out, 2-in type of offense. Carly Crow to Peters, now top of the key. Crow is going to try a three-pointer. We haven't seen her shoot for a little bit, but her attempt is no good. Still 20-11. Frontenac down by 9. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go here as Maddie Davis reels in a high pass over near the top of the key, and she finds Meyer. Bria Ginnevan looking over to Grayson Hipful. Grayson's going to be whistled on the traveling violation. It looked like maybe somebody had batted that ball and made it live again. Ready to check in for the Carthage Tigers is Anderson. Carthage just rolling it around the top of the key, all around the outside of the arc. Negrete with the ball. Over to Cabance. Now Peters drives left. And a attempted jab step by Carly Crow is going to result in a traveling violation. Kind of stepped with one foot and jab stepped with the other. And now Frontenac will get possession of the basketball. 20-11 with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to go here in the first half of play. Taking the ball down the court now is Butcher. Grayson Hipfel tries to pass it into the top of the post, but it's batted away and stolen by Carly Crow. Crow puts up the right-handed layup, and it is good for 2 points. Carly Crow has done an excellent job officiating this offense. So far, she has 5 points on the night. And nearly stolen away again by Carthage as Frontenac has had troubles starting their offense. Karma Fields is going to check back in as point guard. That should help things out a little bit. She is the starting point guard and probably the most talented ball handler on the court. Pass is batted. It was from Forrest. Tried to get it over the top and skip pass to the top of the key, but it was batted away by none other than Fullerton, who has been an absolute problem defensively for the Raiders. Tried a high arcing pass, Davis did. It was tipped away by Carthage, and Carthage, just so much height makes it very difficult for any of those type of passes to hold. And a three-pointer, uncontested three-pointer by Peters. Going to give her her first 3 points of the quarter, and a timeout by Frontenac. And it's going to be a full timeout. We will take it with them. We'll send it back to the station. Right now, Carthage leads 25-11. You are listening to Radio X 103.5 as well as watching on ESPN1007.com. We return here to Frontenac, Kansas, where your Lady Raiders are currently trailing the Carthage Tigers 25-11 with 2 minutes left to go here in the first half of play. Karma Fields with the ball at the top of the key. She rolls around to the right, gets the pass over to Meyer. Meyer tries to drive inside and dishes it back out to Davis. Davis working from the top of the key. Finds Meyer. Meyer trying to look inside and get the pass possibly to Sellers. Is unable to connect. A couple of different hands touch the ball, but in the end, Carthage is going to come out with possession as Frontenac was the last touch before it rolled out of bounds. 1:42 left on the clock here in the first half. Carthage gets the ball. It's Fullerton. She's driving the length of the court. Jump stop. Gets it out to Negrete at the right wing. And resets with Peters at the top of the key. Picked up by Karma Fields. Looks like Frontenac coming out in a man-to-man style defense. Peters finds Crow. Carly Crow has done her fair share of offense already, racking up 5 points on the night. Crow now on the right wing, gets the handoff and is at the top of the key. She finds Fullerton. Fullerton for three, and it's bounced off the backside of the iron. Rebounded by Carthage, and putting it back up and in will be Jason Anderson, the 5'9" senior. And that brings the score 27-11. Frontenac, and it's Karma Fields from the left wing. As I was adjusting the scoreboard, Karma Fields from the left wing bangs it in for a solid 3 points. Helps narrow the gap just a little bit. And she has 9 points on the night, but Carthage goes right back, and Sierra Negrete from the paint puts in 2 more of her own. Negrete has 5 on the night. Skip pass, actually baseball pass all the way down to the far corner, intended for Forrest. Forrest couldn't quite reel it in. It'll be Carthage ball. Frontenac's going to come out in a full court press to try to slow things down for the Tigers, or speed things up depending on how you look at it. But it will be quickly broken as Anderson finds the ball. She thought about the three-point here on the near side of the three-pointer line. And it's Peters, Anderson, Crow, all rotating around the top of the key. And it is finally Peters who puts it up for the last second shot. Fullerton thought that she had the chance to put it up right before the buzzer sounded, but it is no good. At the end of one half, our score is 29-14. Carthage Tigers on top by 15 points. We're going to send it to a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll go over first half stats. Make that a 3-minute break. We'll come back and go over first half stats and talk about what's going on around the league as well as our upcoming broadcast schedule. You are listening to Radio X 103.5 as well as watching and listening on ESPN 1007.com. 3-minute break, and we'll be right back here to Frontenac, Kansas.
Appreciate a planning process that adjusts to the twists and turns of their life. If you're rethinking your life goals, the Envision process can help you try on your ideas before committing to them. Maybe you're thinking about retiring early or starting your own business. Your Envision plan can tell you how adding a goal could affect your ability to reach your objectives. For more information, call Shane Peak today at 620-232-3120. That's 620-232-3120. Wells Fargo Advisors is a trade name used by Wells Fargo Clearing Services, LLC, member SIPC.
No one wants to file for bankruptcy, but a wage garnishment can make it hard to pay the rent, pay the pharmacy, or even feed the family. Bankruptcy can be a viable option to help families cope with unfortunate and unforeseen financial hardship. Call Steve Stockard at Wilbert & Towner, 620-231-5620 for a consultation to find out if bankruptcy is the right choice for you and your family. Call today. Wilbert & Towner, a full-service law firm, 620-231-5620. We are a debt relief agency, helping people find the relief they need in bankruptcy.
I'm Jill Como from Como Jewelry. When you come into our store, be ready to feel some love. Yes, you'll find diamonds and jewelry that sparkle like crazy. But the most important part of our business isn't what's in the cases. It's who walks in our door. It's you. At Como Jewelry, our promise is this. We'll love you like nobody's business because taking care of you is our business. So stop by to hear someone call your name. Como Jewelry in Joplin at 20th and Range Line and in Pittsburgh in front of the Meadowbrook Mall.
If you are injured in an accident or on the job, it is vitally important that you hire the right attorney. Before choosing an attorney, you should make sure they have the resources to fight large corporations or insurance companies. Your attorney should have extensive trial court experience and a track record of success. The Spigarelli Law Firm, with offices in Pittsburgh and Coffeyville, has the experience, resources, and reputation to provide the quality representation your claim deserves. Fred Spigarelli has received the top rating from his peers with the Martindale-Hubbell independent rating system. His firm has the resources to hire the experts and physicians needed to properly present your claim. The Spigarelli Law Firm has successfully tried cases for over 40 years and taken numerous cases all the way to the Supreme Court. Call the Spigarelli Law Firm today at 877-409-7931 or visit their website at spigarelli-law.com. You can also find them fast in names and numbers. Be sure to get reliable information when you choose an attorney to represent you.
And now, back courtside with more Raiders basketball on Radio X 103.5, The Evolution.
Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas. Heath Adkins here, sitting alongside Austin Souter, our cameraman. We're going to take you around the league, and then we're going to talk about some halftime scores. But first, today on our coverage schedule, you will have this game either on 103.5 or on ESPN1007.com, as well as the Colgan Panthers are at Liberal. Shelby White on the play-by-play for that one. You can hear that on Fox Sports, 1340 a.m., or also on ESPN1007.com. Coming up, we have Frontenac versus hosting Lewisburg. I'll be calling that game with Austin as my cameraman, of course. And also on the 11th, we have Pittsburgh High versus Parsons. Shelby White will be covering that one as well. And taking a look around the schedule, or around the CNC League, rather, today we have Baxter Springs at Quapaw, Columbus at St. Paul, in St. Paul early season tournament, Riverton at Neodesha, and like I said, Colgan at Liberal, Missouri. On Tuesday, we'll have Baxter Springs at Erie, Cherryville at Columbus, Galena at Lamar, which will be an excellent game to tune into, by the way. That will be on KHST 1017, My Country. And let's see where else. We have Lewisburg at Frontenac, as I said earlier, and Riverton at Oswego. So there you have it for about our next week of coverage. We'll also have Frontenac hosting Lacine Prairie View. Frontenac made that trip last year. Mike Snow and myself saw that team, and this is a team that could get a little scrappy with both of these boys and girls teams. That was a doozy all the way out in Lacine. And then Friday, Columbus at Riverton. That'll be a game to watch. Colgan will be at Baxter Springs, and that is pretty much our coverage for high school sports here in this next upcoming week. 4 scores in this game, the game that you came here to listen and or watch. For the Lady Raiders, our scores thus far: Maddie Davis has a point in the second quarter. Karma Fields leads all Raiders with 9. Reagan Hipfel with 2. Bria Ginnivan has 2, and that will round it out for the Lady Raiders, 14 points. For the Carthage Tigers, a little more spread out, but Brunert has 2 of her own coming all in the second quarter. Harley Crow has done a great job on both offense and defense, being a nuisance defensively and just being a great officiator of offensively. She had 3 in the first, 2 in the second, for a total of 5. Sierra Negrete really didn't come out until the second quarter, but she made her presence known with 5 in the second. Hannah Fullerton has been the story so far, standing at 6'1", just a sophomore this year. She has 12 points of her own, accounting for just nearly almost half of Carthage's points. And lastly, Peters with 5, 2 in the first, 3 in the second. And that is the scoring summary for the first half of play here so far. We have 3 minutes on the clock before we tip off the second half of play. So we're going to send it back to the studio for a 2-minute break. When we come back, we will give you just another quick recap of the scoring summary and get you set for the third quarter of action. You are listening to 103.5 Radio X, as well as watching live on ESPN1007.com. 2-minute break, and we're back here in Frontenac, Kansas.
Check us out at commercebank.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter for tips on making the most of
Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas. Heath Atkins here alongside Austin Souder, and back in studio, Jacob Ryan pushing all the buttons and keeping us on the air. Your Lady Raiders are falling behind, but it's not too late to get things corralled and make a push back. The score is 29-14. Lady Raiders just trailing by 15 points as we get ready to start the third quarter. Final seconds of the halftime intermission tick down. I'll go ahead and fix the scoreboard here. Show you the third quarter. And we are ready to go. Carthage will inbound the ball. It'll be Brunnert that gets the ball to Peters. Peters crosses the half-court line, and she is picked up by Butcher. Now over in the left wing, it's Cabance. Cabance picks up her own dribble and fires it over to Fullerton. Fullerton cutting inside to the low block. Lob pass over the top. It's almost intercepted by Bria Ginnivan, who had a great angle on that ball. But it was last touched by Ginnivan, and so Carthage will retain possession. 29-14 still here in the third quarter with 7:39 left to go. Nice save right there by Crow. Ball nearly falling out of bounds, and she tiptoes the sideline and throws it back in to her teammates. Brunner in the right wing, picked up by Karma Fields. Shot up, a long three-pointer attempted by Carly Crow. Karma Fields came over for the help defense and, in my mind, caused her to miss that shot. Bria Ginnivan now top of the key on offense. Inside pass to Maddie Davis. Davis tries the left-hand layup from the low block and is no good. It's Fullerton driving the length of the court, and she passes out to Peters for the three-pointer, and it does not draw iron. Rebounded by the Raiders. No scoring done just yet here in the second half of play for either side. Right now, top of the key, it's Butcher. Butcher gets it over to Hipfel. Hipfel now to Davis, top of the key, and it's Fields in the left wing. Fields drives, kicks it out with her right hand. Passes it all the way out for the longest two I've ever seen in competitive play, and that's Butcher. I cannot believe that that was not a three-pointer. But she gets 2 points to open the scoring column for the third quarter here for either side. 29-16. And it is stolen away by the Raiders, and once again stolen again by Fullerton. Fullerton has long arms and so capable of intercepting passes that most high school sophomores are not capable of intercepting. Carthage with a skip pass over the top of the key. It's Crow. Crow tries the three-pointer. No good. Rebounded by Fullerton. Fullerton tries to put up a right-hand shot from behind the backboard. She's going to be fouled, I believe, by Bria Ginnivan. And that is Ginnivan's second personal foul. Team's first of the half. First shot by Fullerton is no good from the charity stripe. Score is still 29-16. Frontenac with the only scoring so far, but Fullerton with a chance to put some points on the board, and she does. So Fullerton now with 13 points on the night. Frontenac will take possession of the ball. It's Butcher who will cross the half-court line, picked up by Negrete. Butcher to Ginnivan at the near side elbow. Tries to dish it out to Fields, and it's going to be intercepted and taken down the court for a right-handed missed layup by Cabance. Fields a little behind the pack. A little evasion move to get her defender off while she crosses the half-court line, and it's Ginnivan driving up to the elbow. Picks up her dribble, and it's Davis in the left wing. Davis uses her body to back up against a couple of defenders, and a shot out beyond the three-point line. It is going to be 3 shots from the charity stripe. Butcher tried from distance. It was no good, but she was fouled. I'll get you the number on that foul. That is Brunnert with her first personal. Team's first of the half. Butcher drains her first free throw. And Butcher now with 3 points, looking for 4 here with the second attempt. And after a couple rattles from the rim, she does sink it indeed. So Butcher with her first 4 points of the night, all coming early here in the third quarter of play. Carthage on the attack, a skip pass, almost intercepted by Davis, but instead reeled in by Negrete, and a deep three-pointer attempted by Cabance. Little tie-up down low, but it looks like it's going to be in favor of the Carthage Tigers. So reeling in the inbounds pass was Fullerton. Fullerton didn't look like there was any way she was going to be making that shot, but she does indeed for 3 points, or for 2 points on that possession. 3 points of hers alone here in the third quarter. She is the only Carthage Tiger to score here in the third. Foul on the floor by number 35. That'll be Fullerton. That is Fullerton's first, number 15. That's Cabance, her first personal of the night. And Reagan Hipfel fires a deep two, it looks like. And that brings the score 32-20.
Come on, clean it up.
Now Frontenac on the attack. It's Maddie Davis up in the elbow. She works a post move, but it looks like she's going to pick up a traveling violation there. I'm not sure. That was a tough call. Looks like she had a good move to the basket. 32-20 the score. Frontenac once trailing by 14, now trails by just 12. And Fullerton knew that she messed up when she made that jab step to outlet pass to the three-point line. She'll be whistled for the traveling violation as well. 3 minutes and 59 seconds left to go here in the third quarter of action. 32-20 is the score. Carthage on top by 12. Karma Fields has the ball and will dish it out to Bria Ginnivan in the right wing. Ginnivan drives in with her left hand, tries to get a little underhand softball-style pass to Karma Fields in the low block. It was batted away by Carthage, so Frontenac will retain possession. 3:49 left to go here in the third. Ginnivan looking for anybody that she can get the ball to. Nearly gets the 5-second mark. And Karma Fields is going to try to save the ball from going out of bounds after being it was just kind of poked by Carthage. Karma trying to keep possession, and as she tried to keep possession of the ball, kind of started to go out of bounds. She tried to make the save, but her foot was on the line. Would have been a valiant effort. Now Negrete with the ball. In the left wing, gets it down to the baseline, and driving the baseline with her left hand is Cabance. Her shot misses, and so does the putback by Fullerton. Fullerton is going to be sent to the line for what seems like the 2-minute time this game. It's very difficult to keep her off the line with her 6'1" frame. It's easy to pick up fouls. Sinks her first free throw. She has 4 points in the third quarter and 16 points altogether, accounting for just nearly half of Carthage's points. Her second shot rattles off the front side of the rim, and it's rebounded by Frontenac. Karma Fields with the ball now, top of the key, picked up by the 2-3 defense in Carthage. Maddie Davis is going to try the baseline three, and it's off the backside of the iron, no good. And there is a push foul on the floor against Carthage, and that'll be against Fullerton. Fullerton now with just one personal foul. Sellers into the game, and she will replace Reagan Hipfel. Maddie Davis looking for somebody to get the inbounds pass to, and she does find Sellers. Sellers for the mid-range jumper off the glass, no good. Maddie Davis got a body on Fullerton, but Fullerton able to just extend. And an outlet pass intended for Negrete. Going to be batted away, or rather, just not reeled in correctly, and it's Frontenac ball. Heather Arnett with the ball. It's her first appearance in the varsity matchup. And she sets a nice screen to allow Karma Fields to get onto her side of the court, and a pass down low to Sellers, and that will give Sellers her first 2 points of the ballgame, and at an opportune time. 33-22 is the score. Carthage up by 11. And a takeaway for Frontenac, as Carthage could not get the shot they wanted. Karma Fields, a lob pass intended over the top for Grayson Hipfel. And it's intercepted by none other than Fullerton. Fullerton just being a pest down low defensively. And just as I say her name, she gets a nice over-the-top pass inside the paint. That'll be 2 more points for Carthage as Fullerton picks up her 5th and 6th point of the 3rd quarter alone. Turnover. And right there, Peters tried to get a round-the-back pass as Fullerton was streaking up into the paint. Foul on the floor. That's Maddie Davis. She's going to be whistled for her 3rd personal foul. Forrest is going to check back into the game. Davis, I believe, Davis will stay in. Lob over the top to Peters. Peters is picked up by Arnett. 3-point shot from distance, and that's Brunnert. Haven't seen her for a little while on the scoring board, but there she is with 3. Now the score has been extended 38-22, a 16-point advantage for the Carthage Tigers. Frontenac now on the offense. And Grayson Hipfel will take the ball at the top of the key. Hipfel finds Davis. Davis in the right wing gets a lob pass over to Arnett. Arnett with a jab step trying to get a couple of defenders off of her, and she finds a bounce pass over to Sellers. Sellers up and in, but a foul on the floor. It's going to be called, I believe, on number 43. No, it'll be on number 41. That's Peters. That's Peters' 2nd personal foul. No, I'm sorry. That's Peters' 3rd. Maddie Davis trying to find somebody, and she finds Sellers over the top at the near side elbow. Now ball in the hands of Meyer. Meyer drives around. She will find Davis. And a foul on the floor. It's going to be a charge. And they are going to call Sellers on that personal foul. Hogard into the ball game once again for Davis. Heather Arnett taking a seat as well as we bring Meyer back into the game. Foul on the floor for Carthage. And now taking over on the attack is Meyer. She crosses the half-court line, and Carthage sets back up in their 2-3 defense. Lob pass intended over the top for Sellers, but it's picked off by Fullerton. Fullerton driving down the lane, tries to put up a little Euro step. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Meyer. Looked like she had her feet set and could have very well taken that charge, and it looked like she did take that charge. No, but I'm sorry, Forrest. Number 23, Forrest, that's her first personal foul, and that's going to send Fullerton to the line. She knocks in her first shot. And that gives her 19 points on the night so far, and counting. Fullerton puts up her 2nd. Nothing but net. 20 points on the night for Fullerton. Carthage will come out in a full court press trying to stop the Raiders. And it's Meyer with the ball as she crosses half court, but she's met by the trap, gets the pass over the top. Grayson Hipfel unable to reel in the high and long pass. And it's a turnover for the Raiders. Now Carthage on the attack. Pump fake and a travel. And it was a good idea by Anderson. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Cabance. Cabance with the pump fake and tried to go for the three-pointer. She was whistled on the traveling violation, and Carthage will try the full court press once again. Pass reeled in by Forrest, and Forrest able to break the full court press. Now Hogard, top of the key, gets it to Sellers. Sellers just lost control of that ball as it rolls out of bounds, and it's last touched by Carthage. So Frontenac will indeed retain possession. Checking into the ball game once again is Negrete, and she will give Peters a rest. Negrete with 5 points on the night so far. Last 25 seconds of the third quarter. Carthage leads 40-22, and it's a turnover. Carthage in a 2-on-1 situation. Fullerton drives up and puts in the right-handed layup for her 21st and 22nd point of the night. 10 seconds, 42-22. And a bounce pass pulled up for a shot. A tie-up for the last 1.5 seconds. Possession arrow points to Frontenac, and Frontenac will indeed keep it. Hogard gives the inbounds pass, and that chips off half a second as a foul on the floor was called. 42-22, Carthage leads by 20 as we near the fourth quarter, but one final play will take place before that. And a shot is put up and no good. It was blocked. Grayson Hipfel nearly had an opportunity at two points there underneath the basket, but no good. As we enter the fourth quarter, 8 minutes left to play here in this ball game. Carthage leads 42-22, a 20-point advantage. We're going to take a 30-second break. When we come back, we will give you the final quarter of action here on 103.5 Radio X and listening and watching on ESPN1007.com. 30 seconds, and we're back. And we are back. Heath Adkins here alongside Austin Souter and Jacob Ryan back in the studio pushing all the buttons for our fourth quarter of action. Lady Raiders are down by 20, 42-22 under the Carthage Tigers. Fullerton with the ball now at the right elbow. She gets the ball out to Negrete. Negrete in the right wing bounces it off the shins of Fullerton, but Fullerton able to rebound it and reel it back in. Peters now slows down the operation and gets the ball to Gabance. Peters back to Gabance in the left wing. Gabance rolls around to the top of the key and gets it to Negrete. Negrete now at the baseline. Nice bounce pass inside. And looking to turn around and put it up for two was Duncan, but there was a foul on the floor. I believe it's going to be whistled as a traveling violation or perhaps a moving screen. I couldn't see either referee. I'm not sure what the call was there, but it's Bria Ginnivan now with the ball inside the paint. And Karma Fields launches a three from distance. Looked like it was going to go in, but instead it's rebounded by Fullerton, and Fullerton is pushing up the court. No score from anybody here in the fourth quarter, but Carthage leads 42-22 with 6:55 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Carthage with the ball. Fullerton tried to reel in the pass, but it's intercepted and batted away. Bringing that in is Reagan Hipfel. And a turnover trying to get the outlet pass to Bria Ginnivan inside the paint will result in Negrete driving up the court and putting up a shot, missing and getting her own rebound. Negrete to Peters in the right wing. Peters picked up by Karma Fields. Fields playing defense as though she wants Peters to use her left hand. Peters tries that indeed and goes up for the shot. Does not connect, but is sent to the foul line. And that'll be a foul on Reagan Hipfel, her third. Team's sixth. So one foul away from putting Carthage in the single bonus. 42-22 still the score as Peters misses her first. Second shot is up, rattles around, and is in. So Peters, her first time scoring here in the second half. Karma Fields takes a shot from long range, but not quite three-point range. It's reeled in by Bria Ginnivan as the shot was no good. Ginnivan now top of the key, picked up by Fullerton. Lob pass over the top for Fields. Fields trying to grab a hold of it, and she is bumped by Peters. That is Peters' third personal foul. I'm sorry, fourth. And now the head referee talking to the score table, discussing what exactly was going on there. And now Frontenac will give the inbounds pass. It's Maddie Davis lobbing up way over the top to Bria Ginnivan. Ginnivan now at the top of the key, gets it inside to Davis. Davis, a bounce pass to Hipfel. Hipfel drives in, puts it up with the left hand. Shot no good, but she is sent to the line for two. Reagan Hipfel. Only 2 points so far on the night. Those 2 points came early in the first quarter. A chance for her to get back on the scoring column here in the fourth quarter. I'm sorry, she actually had two early in the third as well. First shot is up and in, so Hipfel has 5 on the night, 6 after she sunk that second free throw. Score is now 43-24. Let me fix my scoreboard. 43-24 is the score, and Frontenac's going to come out in a full court press, trying to trap Carthage as they make it across the half-court line. Trap is no good. Pass is high and outside, but barely reeled in by Fullerton. Deep shot by Crow is no good, rebounded by Carthage. And it's Fullerton trying the running right-hand layup. And that ball will be tied up off the rebound, and it's in favor of Carthage. So the Lady Tigers going to try to inbound the ball. Frontenac just trying to keep them at bay while they try to make catch up. It's Peters. And deep three for Carly Crow. She sinks it in. That's 8 points on the night for Crow. 46-24, and Karma Fields retaliates with a three-pointer of her own. Fields now with 12. And Frontenac's going to come back out in the full court press. It looks like a 2-2-1 style press with Reagan Hipfel in the far back, playing safety, if you will. Carthage having a little bit of trouble early on breaking this press. Bria Ginnivan comes up and intercepts that pass, or rather bats it away, and that allows Karma Fields to intercept it. A foul on the floor by Carthage is going to send Fields to the line for a 1-and-1 attempt. That foul was on number 15. That was Cabance. That's her third personal. So Karma Fields has not gotten to try very much from the free throw line. She misses her first and only. And now Carthage driving up the court. It's Peters in the left wing. Skip pass over to Cabance. Cabance back to Peters in the left. Peters now resets, and Frontenac out in either a 1-2-2 or a 3-2 zone defense. And a turnover by Carthage. Now, Abby Butcher with the ball to Bria Ginnivan. Ginnivan over to the left wing, and Davis. Davis to Hipfel. Driving inside is Fields. Fields puts the ball up and off the glass. 2 more points for Karma Fields. 5 points now alone in this fourth quarter. She has 14 on the night. Lob pass over the top to Fullerton. Then to Duncan. Duncan tried the left-hand shot. And it was batted away, but a foul nonetheless. And now Duncan is going to get her first opportunity at a free throw.
On the line for the Tigers, Peter Duncan. She'll shoot 2.
That was Reagan Hipfel's 4th personal foul. Team's 7th. First shot is up and in by Duncan. Brings the score 47-29. Second shot's also good, so I'm sorry, no good. Frontenac will drive quickly over to their side of the court, try to put up a shot, and it's going to be out of bounds. Last touch by Carthage, so Frontenac will retain possession. Lob pass over the top to Davis. Davis tried to get a reel in on it, and Fullerton getting a hand over the top and pushes it out of bounds. Still Frontenac ball. 4 minutes and 13 seconds left to go here in regulation. Bria Ginneman's going to try the three-pointer. Rocks it off the front side of the rim, taps a couple times, and it rolls away. Lots of fighting for the rebound, but at the end, it's Carthage with the last touch and Maddie Davis with the inbound. Finds Bria Ginnevan over in the right wing. Lob pass over the top, intended for Hipfel. It'll be batted away once again by Carthage. Carthage able to get all the hands on the ball, but not able to take it away and get back on offense. They've been on the defensive side of the ball for a little while now. Now Reagan Hipfel will be shooting a 1-and-1 from the charity stripe. First shot is up and in. So Hipfel with 5 points here in the second half, 7 points on the night. 8 points make it as she sinks both of her free throw shots. 47-31 is the score. Frontenac down by 16, and Carthage is just going to try to play keep away for a little while. It's Black with the ball. And it's batted away and picked up by Maddie Davis. Davis finds Hipfel. Hipfel off the glass and rattles it back inside. Hipfel with 2 more points here in the fourth quarter. She has 6 alone in the fourth. 10 on the night. And it's Black. We saw a lot of her last year. Didn't see much of her in this outing up until here late in the fourth. Fullerton puts in for 2 more points, her first 2 of the fourth quarter. And Carthage looking to coast to a victory here unless the Raiders are able to pull out something big. 30-second timeout. We're going to go ahead and keep it here. We're not going to send it back to the station for this timeout. Score is 49-33. I sure hope that you can hear me over the very, very loud PA system. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. Carthage leads by 16 points. Out on the court for Frontenac right now, we have Davis, Fields, Hipfel, Butcher, and Ginnevan. For the Carthage Lady Tigers on the court, we have Black, Negretti, Cabance, Fullerton, and Duncan. Getting ready to start this possession. It's Grayson Hipfel. Trying to find anybody, and she does find Meyer. Finds Heather Arnett with a jab step, trying to get away from some of her defenders, and it's picked off over in the far corner after the pass by Arnett. And just kind of stripped. We see Black taken to the full length of the court, puts up a shot, and it is no good. But she's sent to the stripe as foul initiated. I'm trying to see who got that foul. Looks like it might be Karma Fields' first personal foul. And it was. Black misses her first free throw. No points on the board yet for her. Second shot is underway. Shot is up and in. So Black gets onto the score column for the first time all night. Heather Arnett with the ball. She's working against a couple of defenders and gets the ball over to Meyer. Meyer to Fields. Fields in the right wing working against Black. Meyer back to Butcher. Butcher to Fields. Fields for three. Does not get it. And a desperation turnaround shot by a hipful is no good. Rebounded by Carthage. Carthage puts the ball back in the hands of Black. And we're going to have 3 substitutions here for Carthage. 1 for Frontenac. Next dead ball. In the hands of Crow. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in regulation. 50-33. And nearly picked off. It is picked off and kept in bounds. And the shot was up and no good, but rebounded by Heather Arnett. She gets her own rebound off the shot. Put back up and in, but I think they're going to call that a foul on the... No, they're going to call that good for 2, I believe. No, yes, they will. Yes, they will. Heather Arnett picks up her first 2 points of the game, and she's sent to the charity stripe off of a foul by number 5, Carly Crow, her first personal foul. Arnett with an opportunity here to score 3. Her shot is up and no good, so the charity stripe shot is no good, but Karma Fields gets the rebound on the near side baseline and puts it up for 3 points. Great shot there by Karma Fields. And now Carthage will retaliate with their own 3-pointer. No good, rebounded. And Kinder with the ball. Now Black. Black gets it over to Golden. Sarah Golden puts it up for 2 points. Score is now 52-37. Another 3-ball taken by Frontenac. No good. And it's 52-37, the score. Frontenac on the attack. It's Karma Fields. Picks up her dribble, gets it to Arnett. Arnett drives in, puts it off the glass, and is no good. She was under traffic right there. And fortunately, Jason Meyer, gets the rebound as he's tied up with a couple of Carthage players. And it is Frontenac's ball. So Karma Fields finds Meyer. Meyer back to Fields. Fields with the pump fake. Puts it up for 3. Rocks it off the front side of the iron. And it's rebounded by Arnett. Arnett puts a shot back up from inside the paint. Gets her own rebound. Shot up and no good. But she's fouled and sent back to the stripe. Heather Arnett, every time she's put the ball up, she has stayed and known where the ball was going to be if it's not going in. Gotten her own rebound and really given herself an opportunity at some points here in the fourth quarter. Shot is up. First shot is no good off the backside of the iron. And it is 52-37 with 42 seconds left to go here in the final quarter of action. Second shot rolls around the rim, rebounded by Fields. Fields puts it back in for 2 points. Fields has 10 points just in the fourth quarter, 19 on the night. Lob over the top, and it's brought in by Golden. Foul on the floor is going to be whistled against Maddie Davis, I believe, and that might be, no. That'll be her, no, Heather Arnett will pick up the foul, her first personal, team's 9th. Arnett, just a freshman this year, already getting some good varsity experience. Driving in and giving the ball to Frankenberry. Frankenberry tried the three-pointer. No good. Reeled in by Frontenac. Meyer doing everything she can to fight for that ball. Final 14.7 seconds left here in the contest. Score is 52-39. Frontenac on the attack. You see Frankenberry once more puts up the left-hand shot, and it's in for two. Frankenberry gets her first 2 points of the night coming here late in the fourth quarter, and she's sent to the line for a chance at three. 11.8 seconds left. And Frankenberry puts her shot up off the backside of the iron. It's reeled in by Golden. Smacked away and put into the hands of Black. Black crosses the half-court line. Working against a couple of defenders. Black, one of the best ball handlers. Black looks a little frustrated by the defense's attempt at getting the back, but nonetheless, Carthage picks up a win. They improve to 5-1 on the season. A great start here for the Tigers, and a great look here for the Frontenac Raiders. Non-conference, non-league, so it doesn't affect them too much. They just get to see a big school with a great basketball program coming to their building and get a good look at some varsity time as they progress through the season. Some of these kinks for the Lady Raiders will be worked out, but a good look here against a very, very good Carthage Tiger team. We're going to take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we're going to go over some first game stats for the Lady Raiders. Get you set for the boys game, and then we'll be doing some pregame stuff for that. We have an interview between Mike Snow and Brian Varslow to show you later on in the broadcast. But for now, we're going to take that 2-minute break and come back for some game recap. Keep it here on 103.5 Radio X as well as ESPN1007.com for live streaming. This is Heath Adkins signing off for a 2-minute break, and we'll be back. Welcome back here to Frontenac, Kansas. As we get ready to start the boys' game, we're going to give you a little bit of a game recap between the Carthage Lady Tigers and the Frontenac Lady Raiders. By the way, boys, Carthage boys coming out in a peculiar sleeveless hoodie as their warm-up shirt. I haven't seen that one before. That one's new. But for Frontenac, two leading scorers that helped lead the way for this game. were Karma Fields with 19 points, 9 of which in the first half, the other 10 coming in the fourth quarter. No points scored in the third, so she did a lot of her work there in the fourth. Reagan Hippel also chipped in with 10 points, only 2 in the first half, and then she really exploded in the second. Actually, that was the case for a lot of these young ladies. Abby Butcher came in with 4 points on the night, all of them in the third quarter. And Heather Arnett with 2. Caitlin Sellers with 2. Frankenberry put up 2. And Maddie Davis, though the score would not indicate it, she really did do an excellent job of just keeping the ball under control, officiating the offense for the most part, being a key contributor in all of those things. But she only ended with 1 point on the night. For Carthage, however, it was pretty cut and dry who did a majority of the heavy lifting for them. It was Hannah Fullerton who ended the night with 24 points. 12 of those in the first, 12 of those in the second half. Peters ended with 6. Duncan with 1. Cabance did not score at all, which was very strange. She had many good looks. She had lots of time on the court. Did not take a lot of the shots she probably could have. Ended with no points. Negretti with 5, no points in the second half. Crow with 8 total, 5 in the first, 3 in the second half. Brunnert with 5 total, and Black with 1 there in the fourth quarter, and that will bring us to the final score of that game, 52-39, as we get set for the boys contest. 10 minutes up on the clock before we start the national anthem, and then proceed to the tip-off of the opener for the boys team here, at least the opener for the Frontenac boys. I will tell you more about the Carthage boys and their season thus far when we come back from the break. We're going to take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we will be joined by Mike Snow and Coach Ryan Barcelona of the Frontenac boys basketball program, followed by a 2-minute break, and I'll be right back here in Frontenac, Kansas, ready to give you the starting tip of this game. You're listening to ESPN1007.com as well as Radio X 103.5. 2-minute break, and we're back with the interview with Coach Ryan Barcelona.
Complete city services, including 24-hour police and fire protection.
www.oodleblue.com/silverback.
And then you can just click and drag it. You may have to delete some of that log, and it may show up later.
The true test of a great insurance agency comes when you suffer a loss. It's easy to take your premiums, but Ray Ryan of Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh knows that handling your claim is the most important service an insured needs.
Claim is our chance to let the customer know that we'll be out there, not just that we sold them a policy, we'll also be there when the claim occurs to make sure it gets handled in an honest, respectable way.
Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh, a trusted choice agency. Find them fast in names and numbers.
S&B Lawn Care, the leading lawn service in the area, offers a full range of commercial and residential lawn care services. S&B is local, reliable, and experienced, and they strive for 100% satisfaction for their clients. S&B can handle all of your mowing needs no matter what size
I'm ready when you are, Jacob. Welcome to Frontenac, Kansas, ladies and gentlemen, as we are set to tip off the start of the 2018-2019 basketball season for the boys. The girls fell in their contest 59-27. I'm sorry, 59-32, rather. But the boys bring back a whole lot of talent. They bring back a lot of their talent, I should say, losing only players like Brock Ginnivan and players of that nature. So they bring back a lot of the guys that played most of their time on the court last year. I think that this is a much improved team from last year. I think this is a team that can very well hang with this Carthage team. But I watched Carthage play last year, and a lot of these guys, I don't know that well, but if they're anything like the team was last year, this is a dangerous, dangerous team. They've got some height. They've got some athleticism. They've got a lot of things that a team needs to succeed in this league and in this area. Let's go ahead and give you the starting lineups for both teams. First, for the Carthage Tigers. Number 2, standing at 6'1", the junior, Terrace Jackson. Number 3, at 6 feet, the senior, Tucker Downing. Number 22, standing at 5'9", the junior, Tyler Mueller. Number 23, 6'2", sophomore, Patrick Carlton. Number 32, the 6'7", junior, Alex Martini. He will be taking the tip against his counterpart from Frontenac, number 44, Noah Brooks, also standing at 6'7". So it looks like Martini might be a little bit bigger, so somebody's lying on the paperwork here. Hayden Pyle, Jake Beckman, Cooper Cleland, and Blaine Baldwin all getting the start for Frontenac as well. Carthage on the attack. They won the tip. It's over on the far wing, and now it's in the hands of Jackson. Jackson in the left wing, now over to Mueller in the right wing. Jackson in the left. Stutter step over in the far baseline. It's Downing. And losing the ball and turning out of bounds. Still Carthage possession. Sorry about that. 0-0 here with 7:39 left to go, and a big-time dunk by Martini on the inbounds play, and that is an early dagger to be met with something like that. Carthage obviously wanting to get things explosive early. And we see Hayden Pyle pull up a mid-range jumper. That counts just as much as a dunk does, and it ties everything up here, 2-2 with 7:23 left to go here in the first quarter of play. Free throw opportunity here for Pyle, and he sinks his first. Let's go. 3-2, 7:22 left to go here in the first. Frontenac leads by 1. And a deep shot by Jackson for the three-pointer. As I try to get everything sized up here. That brings the score 5-3. And Blaine Baldwin comes right back on the other side of the court and makes it very difficult for me to keep track on my scoreboard here. But Baldwin answers with his own, and it's all knotted up now, 5-all. Shot no good by Carthage, but it's rebounded by Martini. Shot is up and no good, but Frontenac is going to take possession of this ball. 6:38 on the clock. 2 fouls for Carthage now. That foul just recently made by Martini, his first personal. Keep a look out for that. Frontenac's going to want Carthage in foul trouble early. Spin around shot, no good by Pyle. A great opportunity, though. 6:20 on the clock, still 5-all. Carthage just one loss on the year, and that was to Joplin, a very successful program and a very big school for Carthage to be facing up against so early. Jackson's going to give the inbounds pass, and it's Downing with a deep shot, and Downing's going to sink it in for three, his first three of the night. That makes it 8-5, and Carthage back on the attack. Jackson driving at the full length of the court. He's going to be fouled before the shot. And Baldwin's going to pick up his first foul. Team's first. Jackson shooting 2 from the charity stripe. First shot is no good, off the front side of the rim. Score is 8-5. Carthage leads by 3. Jackson with his second free throw attempt, and it's in. So Jackson starting it out with 4 points already. Taking the ball now is Beckman. Beckman tries the short hop jumper off of the foot of Jackson on the outlet pass. It's going to roll out of bounds. Last touch by Carthage, so Frontenac ball. 9-5 is the score. 5:40 here in the first quarter. Ball in the hands of Baldwin. Baldwin got lots of experience last year. As a junior, he returns as one of the few returning seniors. Inbounds pass to Franklin. Franklin gets it up off the glass and inside for 2 points. Nice dish inside and nearly stolen away by Cooper Cleland. Cleland very active and very tenacious on defense. We see a rebound by Martini and a no-look pass inside. And that's Carlton for 2 points. I have to do a better job of keeping score over here on my digital scoreboard. Driving inside, or trying to, is Beckman. Beckman's going to dish it back out and give it to Baldwin for 3 points as he leaves his hand up in the air, letting everyone know he's got 5 points on the night already, and the score is 10-11 in favor of Carthage. Cleveland's going to drive up the paint off the steal, and it's blocked off the backboard by Jackson. I think that's going to be called a shooting foul. I believe so. If so, that'll be Jackson's second personal foul. No. It's going to be against Mueller. That's his second personal. Good shot attempt by Cleveland, but it's no good. The second free throw is good for Cleveland, putting him on the scoreboard as well. So all knotted up here, 11-11 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the first quarter of action. Jackson has the ball over to Baldwin. Huntley. Picked off by Cleveland. Cleveland's going to slow it down over in the far wing. A lost dribble and a high arcing shot by Story, and it's no good. Rebounded by Carthage and stolen away once again by Cleveland. You got to keep an eye on Cleveland. He is one of the more active members on defense that you will find in this area. Batted out of bounds by the Raiders. Checking into the ball game now is Bridwell. Cale Bridwell, a big part of the football team that made it all the way to the second round of state this year. Inside pass for Carthage. That's Carlton. He's twisting about and trying to find a way inside, and it's going to be a turnover for Carthage, and Frontenac will pick up possession of the ball. Beckman taking the ball up. He will be met by Huntley. Nearly picked off by Jackson. Jackson A surprisingly fast athlete there on the court. Real lengthy. Lots of means to be a disruption on defense. Ball rolls out of bounds. Last touch by Carthage, so giving the inbounds pass is Cooper Cleland. Cleland with a long skip pass over to Story, and it's back in the hands of Cooper. Cooper waiting for somebody to poke out, and finally Bridwell does. Bridwell finds Story at the top of the key. Met by a man-to-man defense. And Cooper Cleland with another 3-ball. And that's going to be something that Carthage is going to need to watch out for. All of these young men out on the floor right now wearing black and white can shoot from distance. We're going to see if Huntley can as well, and he can. Knocks it down from three-point range. And these guys are making my job very difficult on the scoreboard, but all knotted up at 14. Here in the first quarter of play, 3 minutes flat left to go, and blocked away by Jackson. Frontenac will keep possession of it as Cooper Cleland tries for another three. This one's off the left side of the rim, and it's rebounded by Carthage. He falls out of bounds, and that's going to be a near takeaway. Lost the rebound as he stepped out of bounds. Might have been nudged out of bounds by a Frontenac Raider. But the officials are going to say it's going to belong to the Raiders, so they're going to take back over on offense. 2:50 left to go here in the first quarter. It's 14 all. Up at the top of the key, it's Pyle. He does a spin move, tries to get through traffic, and he's going to be fouled on his journey to the rim. Shot is no good, so still 14 all, but now Hayden Pyle gets an opportunity, and Carlton gets his first personal foul, number 23 for the Tigers. First shot is good to give Frontenac their first lead of the ball game, 15-14 now. Pyle with 4 points already. Second shot is no good, and it's rebounded by Jackson. Tip pass as they were trying to get it over to Huntley. Huntley eventually does reel it in, and now it's in the hands of Martini. No-look pass to Huntley. Huntley with a pump fake. Gets it over to the far left wing for a no-good three-pointer by Downing. Shot is off the mark. Rolls out of bounds, and last touch by Carthage. So Frontenac now with possession of the ball. Over in the left wing, it's Bridwell. Caleb Bridwell to Pyle, and then Baldwin. Near steal by Huntley. Overshoots it a little bit, and now it's Huntley all alone. And he gets blocked by Baldwin. And what a statement there that they were not going to get manhandled by a cherry pick. 16-15 is the score. Carthage has the advantage. Frontenac over in the right wing. And I can't tell, I believe that was number 2. That was Jackson that got the point on that. Baldwin. Blaine Baldwin. The shot is no good for Frontenac, so it's going to come over to the Carthage side of things. We're going to see Huntley to Jackson. Jackson over to Downing. Downing thought about the three-pointer instead. Pump fakes and gets it to Martini. Martini with an easy right-hand shot. And if you're Frontenac, you're looking to keep the ball out of the hands of that 6'8" center that Carthage has at their disposal. Inside pass, beautiful take by Brooks. And Brooks records his first 2 points of the night. Final minute here on the clock for the first quarter. So we see Jackson with the ball at the top of the key. Pump fakes and gets Baldwin to jump. Ends up just passing it around to the outside. Shot is up and no good, but it's rebounded by Huntley. Huntley loses control of it, and it's back in the hands of Brooks. Brooks out to Pyle. Pyle tries the mid-range jumper. It's no good. Rebounded by Martini. Martini, they're in a 3-on-3 situation before the defense can catch up. Long shot by Huntley is no good. Foul on the floor. And I'm not sure who that foul is going to be on. That'll be against Noah Brooks, his first personal foul. Jake Beckman is going to check back into the contest. And so will Alex Story. 18-17 is the score. Final 20 seconds of the first quarter. Lob pass over the top to Huntley. And he gets whistled on the double dribble. Frontenac will take over on possession. 15.9 seconds on the clock. It's 18-17 in favor of Carthage. And Mueller gets whistled for his third personal foul already. We get Baldwin. He's going to pick up the charge. A little push off with that left forearm as he tried the spin move. That's Blaine's second personal foul. He's got 5 points on the night, but he needs to be a little more conservative if he wants to remain in the ball game for the duration of this game. Jackson with the ball across the half-court line. And Huntley drives in. They did not quite get a shot off as Tyler Mueller gets the outlet pass and was looking for a shot. And that is the end of the first quarter. After 8 full minutes of play, we have Carthage 18, Frontenac 17 in a tight-knit game here in Frontenac, Kansas. We're going to send it back to the station for a 1-minute break, and when we come back, we'll begin the second half of play. You are listening to 103.5 Radio X as well as watching live on ESPN1007.com. 1 minute, and we're back. Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas, where the Raiders are falling behind right now, 18-17, a very close game. Ryan Barcelona up off his chair, and it's been an explosive battle so far. Is all I can say about this. We saw a dunk for the first points of the game, and now we see some scrappiness on defense by the Carthage Tigers. A little bit of life in them today. A pump fake as he was trying to get Jackson to bite. And Jackson did bite, however. A traveling violation whistled against the Raiders. So the Carthage Tigers will take over. 7:38 left to go here in the first half of play. 18-17 still the score. Jackson gets the ball to bring across the half-court line, and he gets it over to Huntley. Now over to Freisinger. And a two-hand flush for the second time today by Martini. But I don't believe they're going to call it. No, they will not. Offensive foul for the Tigers. Yeah, that's a double dribble on the account of McCartney. and Carthage will take over once again. Giving the inbounds pass is Downing. He finds Jackson. Jackson crosses the timeline, finds Downing once again inside to Martini. Martini with a little stutter step, a power dribble, and puts it right back up. He is fouled and sent to the charity stripe. Martini standing at 6'7" on paper. However, you stack him up next to Noah Brooks, and he's got an inch or two on Brooks, and Brooks is listed at 6'7" as well. First shot is good for Martini. Second shot underway and in. So 2 more points for Martini here in the second quarter of action. Carthage now comes out in a full court press, and Frontenac ready to deal with it. Ball now in the left wing, handled by number 20. That's McCartney once more. Now Beckman. Beckman drives in, tries to get an outlet pass over to the far wing. It was Story who reeled in the ball. They're going to call a foul on number 10. That's Freisinger. Freisinger.
Checking in the game for the Raiders. Here comes Cale Franklin on the line for Frontenac.
I believe that's Freisinger's first foul. Score is 20-17. First shot is good, so that's 20-18 now. So we get Beckman on the board for the first time today. Second shot is up, rattles around the rim and no good. 20-18 is the score. 6:50 left to go here in the first half of play. Now over in the right wing, it's Freisinger. Now in the left is Downing. Downing gets it to Martini. Inside to Jackson. Jackson went up for the one-handed flush. Didn't quite get high enough, so he just finger rolled it in. But 2 points is 2 points. And now the Carthage Tigers lead by 4. Hayden Pyle over in the left wing gets a body on his man. Nice pass down low. A little stutter step for Cooper Cleland is going to grant him 2 shots from the charity stripe. That's a foul on Jackson, his first personal. Cooper Cleland at the line. First shot underway, and it's in. So Cooper Cleland now with 5 points on the night. Checking in for Jackson, going to be number 23, that's Carlton. Little substitution for Carthage. Second shot by Cleland underway, and it's inside. So 2 points there for Cleland here in the second quarter. And now Carthage with the ball at the top of the key. Driving inside is Carlton. Carlton went up for a shot. There's a foul on the floor. That's going to be on number 13. That's Franklin. His first personal.
Back in the game, Baldwin.
Back in the game is Baldwin. He's going to give McCartney a seat. Baldwin with 2 fouls on him. Got to keep him in check, but a steal by Beckman. Beckman, a little stutter step, puts up a shot. Shot is no good, but it's rebounded by Franklin.
That foul goal on Jeffrey Downing. Cooper Cleland on the line for the Raiders. It's shooting.
But it's Cleland who put up a second shot and was fouled on the way up. Second shot, first shot is good. So Cleland adds to his resume from the first half already. He's got 7, sorry. Score is now 22-21, a chance to tie it here for the Raiders. Cooper Cleland squares up with 6 minutes and 6 seconds left to go here in the first half. Second shot bounces off the backside of the rim, nearly gets his own rebound. Carthage lobs it over the top, intended for Huntley, but instead it's reeled in by Frontenac. Trying to call a timeout. And he gets it. No, they're not going to call the timeout. Instead, they're just going to call the holding foul on Jackson. No, Huntley, that is his second. So 22-21. Frontenac Raiders already in the double bonus, so this will be 2 shots for Franklin. Franklin's first shot up and no good off the right side of the iron. Bounces out. A chance for Frontenac to tie the game right here. Franklin's second shot bounces off the backboard and is inside. Franklin is on the board for the first time this quarter, and it is all tied up. 22-22 with 5 minutes and 57 seconds left to go here in the first half of play. Carthage gets the ball. Their side of the court, inbound from Martini to Jackson. Frontenac not coming out to press them. Jackson crosses the half-court line and drives to the right. Hand off to Friesinger. Little roll around and blocked. A vicious block by Noah Brooks. Having no part of that turnaround jumper. Just sent it into the stands like a volleyball swat. Baldwin playing tight on Jackson as he was getting that inbounds pass. Outlet to the far wing. 3 is no good by Carlton. Top of the key is Cooper Cleland. He's working against Carlton. Now in the left wing, it's Hensley. Screen set for Cleland to get moved over to the outside. A dish over to Noah Brooks, and he launches the 3. I've never seen Noah Brooks launch one, but there it was. And now the Raiders lead 25-22. They try to respond by Freisinger's 3. Shot is no good. 4:55 left to go here in the first half. And Frontenac has their largest lead of the game by 3 points, 25-22. Ball in the hands of Hensley. He finds Noah Brooks. Brooks at the top of the key, gets it down and inside to Franklin. Franklin tries the shot and it's swatted away by Martini. They're going to say it was last touched by Frontenac, so Martini will give the inbounds pass for Carthage to begin their offensive drive. 4:39 here to go in the first half. Freisinger takes the ball across the half-court line. And they're going with what looks to be a 5-out offensive set. A little bit out of ordinary. A foul on the floor inside the paint. Looked like Downing got tripped up. And Downing is going to go to the line. It was Downing. And it was Baldwin who got that personal foul. That's Baldwin's 3rd. And we haven't even reached halftime. This could be dangerous for Baldwin moving forward. He is one of the more pivotal parts of this offense. And certainly can do his work on defense as well. Timeout called by Coach Ryan Barcelona. A 30-second timeout. We'll take it with him. We're going to send it back to the station for a 30-second break. You're listening to 103.5 Radio X as well as watching live on ESPN1007.com. Back in 30 seconds. Back here in Frontenac, Kansas, Frontenac with the ball. They lead 25-22 over the Carthage Tigers. Ball in the hands of Beckman. Beckman just trying to set up the offense and get things going. Hensley over in the left wing. Back to Beckman. Rotated pass to Cleveland in the right by the baseline. Little clutch pump action shot. Shot is no good though. That was an interesting selection. But a quick transition two by Downing is going to narrow that lead by just 1 point. 25-24. Frontenac still on top by 1. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the first half. Ball in the hands of Beckman. Beckman is met by, appears to be a 1-2-2 defense, a zone defense. Franklin over to Brooks. Noah Brooks in the left wing. That opened up Beckman for what looked like it was going to be a three, but instead they're going to outlet to Hensley. Hensley put up a shot, and the shot was no good. Martini takes the ball on the other side of the court, puts up a shot, but there's a foul on the floor prior to the shot. That foul is going to be on Cooper Cleland. That's Cleland's first personal foul. Team's 8th. That's going to send Martini to the line. Hayden Pyle is going to come in, as well as McCartney.
Martini will be shooting a 1-1.
Her shot is up, and that ties it all up. 25-25, a chance for Carthage to take a lead here with a free throw by Martini. Second shot is good, and they take the lead, 26-25. Martini now has 8 points on the night. He leads all scorers. Jackson also has 8. Frontenac now on the attack. It's Pyle to Cleveland. And they break the full court press. Ball back in the hands of Cleveland. Far wing, it's McCartney. Runs a little double action to separate himself from his defender. It's Noah Brooks with a spin move inside over the top of Martini. Shot is no good. Kick out to Huntley. And Huntley tries for 3. Shot is no good, rebounded by Frontenac. It's Beckman on the attack. Driving inside, a crow hop inside, off the glass for 2 points, and Beckman with a wild move to bring the Raiders back on top. 27-26. Carthage now on the attack. Jackson just nearly lost his dribble and almost forced a turnover. Martini driving inside, goes up for the two-hand dunk, realizes the help is there, so he just double clutches it and lays it in for 2. 28-27, a back-and-forth affair here between the Carthage Tigers and the Frontenac Raiders. But yet again, Jake Beckman driving inside and really showing this crowd the athleticism that he has in his back pocket. Going to take a timeout, a 30-second timeout, and we're going to go ahead and keep it here since I'm a little late on that whistle. Frontenac leads 29-28 on the heels of Jake Beckman, who has just exploded here in the late half of the second quarter. I'm going to give you a quick reminder of some of the games going on in the area for the CNC League. Get my paperwork in order here. For today, Frontenac at Baxter Springs. Oh, I'm sorry, that's in February. That's not the schedule that we want. And now I seem to have lost my very important paperwork. And I have it back in front of me as we begin play. But Baxter Springs at Quapaw, rather. Carthage here. Columbus at St. Paul. Riverton at Neodesha. And Colgan at Liberal. Shelby White has that call on 1340 AM. Deep 3 taken by Jackson. It is no good. Rebounded by Martini. Martini rolls around and puts it back in for 2 points. And he is a problem. He is definitely a problem. Frontenac just avoids a turnover there, thanks to Cooper Cleland. And it's batted out of bounds, last touched by Carthage. Carthage leads 30-29 with 1 minute and 9 seconds left to go here in the first half of action. Trying to find anybody is McCartney. McCartney finally finds Cleland inside. Cleland dumps it off to Beckman. Beckman to Noah Brooks for three. Brooks definitely has that three-pointer in his back pocket. And Brooks with good looks already here in this ball game. A pass inside to the low block. That's number 23, Carlton. He gets the shot, and he's sent to the line for an extra. 32-32. A chance for Carthage to take the lead on this free throw. That foul was on Hutchins. No, it was on Beckman. It was on Beckman. His first personal foul of the game. Free throw attempt is good by Carlton. He's got 5 points on the night now thanks to that shot, and a lead, 33-32, final 30 seconds of the first half. Noah Brooks pump fakes over in the left wing, rolls it over and gives it up to Cooper Cleland, top of the key. Beckman, right wing, picked up by Huntley. Beckman gets it out to Pyle. Pyle inside to Brooks. Brooks with a power dribble. And he's going to get a block called on number 23. It's Carlton's second personal foul. Noah Brooks shooting two from the charity stripe. Here a chance to take the lead or tie. First shot is no good, so now he can tie the game with 13 seconds left. Second shot is in, so Brooks ties the ball game with that shot. And he's got 9 points on the night already here in the first half. Final 10 seconds. 6, 5. Shot from the near side wing, and it's going to be hung on to by Pyle. And the full court shot to end the first half is no good. At the end of 16 minutes of regulation, we are tied 33-33. What a ball game it's been so far, and I have not been keeping track of the scoreboard here. I'm going to try to do that while we speak. Goodness gracious. 33 all, and we're going to send it back to the studio for a 3-minute break. When we come back, we're going to review the first half of scoring and get you set for the third quarter of action. Keep it right here on 103.5 Radio X, as well as ESPN1007.com. 3-minute break, and we're back.
S&B Lawn Care, the leading lawn service in the area, offers a full range of commercial and residential lawn care services. S&B is local, reliable, and experienced, and they strive for 100% satisfaction for their clients. S&B can handle all of your mowing needs no matter what size, and provide a variety of other services such as leaf blowing, shrub removal, and mulch installation. S&B Lawn Care provides the best service possible from the first call to the completion of the project. Call S&B Lawn Care today at 620-308-6412.
This is Eddie Lomchek, the voice of the Pitt State Gorillas, inviting you to join me for Pitt State basketball. Both PSU teams wrap up lengthy homestands when they host Central Oklahoma on Saturday, December 8th. The Pitt State teams each won their conference openers earlier this week and now look to extend their winning streak. The women tip off at 1:30 on Saturday with the men to follow. Our continuous doubleheader coverage comes your way just after 1.
This is your home for Pitt State basketball, ESPN 100.7. And now, more exciting Raiders basketball action on Radio X 103.5, The Evolution.
All Raider Athletics. Thanks so
Welcome
much
back
for
to Frontenac, Kansas. Heath Adkins here alongside Austin Souter. In what is an exciting matchup between the Frontenac Raiders and the Carthage Tigers, 33-33 after one full half of action. We got about 6 minutes left here on the scoreboard, so we will watch these. I guess you guys can't really see the youngsters shooting free throws for a chance at a 2-liter a pop. We'll take you down the scoring summary here for both teams. Baldwin has 5. Cleveland has 7. Franklin with 3. He came out with a 2 early on in the first and a free throw in the second. Beckman exploded in the second quarter with 5. Pyle has 4 on the night, all in the first quarter, rather. And Brooks is your leading scorer with 9. 2 in the first quarter and 7 in the second. But that has been the tale of the tape so far for Frontenac, is getting the ball to Brooks. He has been exceptional both inside and outside in being able to deal with the height that Martini provides for Carthage. Speaking of Martini, he leads all scorers with 10. He's gotten a couple of flushes, a couple of two-hand dunks, as well as some easy looks from inside. Has been more of a problem defensively than anything else, and Frontenac is going to be looking on solutions to deal with him if they want to continue and want to add any kind of lead on this tied ball game. But we've got about 4.5 minutes before we start the second half. Let's send it back to the station for 3 more minutes. When we return, I will get you set and ready for the second half of action, and hopefully the Frontenac Raiders can drop the Carthage Tigers to being 2-2 on the season, and Frontenac can improve to 1-0. This is the season opener here on 103.5 Radio X, as well as watching live on ESPN 1007.com. 3 minutes, and we're back here in Frontenac, Kansas.
Success is a direct result of a great partnership, which is why they do not just
Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas. Heath Atkins here alongside our cameraman, Austin Souter, and back in the studio, Jacob Ryan, pushing all the buttons and keeping us on the air. We are all tied up 33-33 as we are just about ready to enter the third quarter of action. They're yelling at the top of their lungs through the PA system. It's tough for me to hear myself think. But 20 seconds left to go, and we are going to be underway here. It's been quite an affair. There's been some dunks. There's been some gorgeous-looking three-pointers. Been a lot of athleticism, some scrappiness at times, some dissatisfied crowds most of the time. I mean, most of the time, at least one portion of the crowd is pretty upset about something. That's been about what this game has been all about so far. Let me change the score bug here to the third quarter. That's a hiccup on my part. But Frontenac has the ball. It's Baldwin now. Tipped pass. Jackson just about got a hand on it. Baldwin now with the ball once again in the right wing. Goes for three and does not get it, but it's rebounded by Beckman. Beckman keeping the drive alive. And they're calling a technical foul on number 2, I believe. No, that's number 22. Mueller. I was not aware that he did anything to merit that.
By number 22, Tyler Mueller. And then there was also a technical foul called against Tyler.
So he was called for a push, and that was a foul. And then he was called for a technical foul for, I guess, deliberating. Or responding.
Coming into the game for Carthage.
That was a peculiar call. I evidently did not see what he said, but Baldwin is at the line, and he sinks the first point of the game. That's the technical free throw. Second one is underway. And Baldwin misses on the second shot. So Frontenac takes off to an early 1-point lead. And they will get the ball back after those shots. Ball in the hand of Beckman. He finds Brooks. Brooks is going to be whistled for stepping out of bounds, and it's Carthage ball. 7:30 left to go here in the third quarter, and it's 34-33. Ball in the hands of Jackson. Jackson crosses the half-court line. Lets his offense set up, and he gets the ball over to Huntley. Huntley in the left wing, met by what looks to be a man-to-man defense. Shot missed by Carthage. And Beckman that'll be Cleland. Take possession of it. Beckman now with the ball in the right wing. Finds Cleland in the left. Back to Beckman. Over the right wing, it's Baldwin. Baldwin with a pump fake. Comes to a stop, and not soon enough as he's whistled for the traveling violation. Still 34-33. 6:59 left to go here in the third quarter. Martini gets the ball for the inbounds pass, and he throws it to Jackson. Jackson crosses half court, finds Downing. Downing. Coach Barcelona is asking for a carrying call. Will not get it. Shot was no good. Rebounded by Martini. That time a foul on the floor will be called against Hayden Pyle. That is Pyle's first personal. Team's first of the half. Lob over the top. They find Carlton. Carlton puts it up and in for two. Ball in the hands of Pyle. Pyle with a skip pass over to Beckman. Beckman for three, or maybe it was a pass attempted for Baldwin. Either way, there's a whistle, and the whistle is going against Frontenac. calling it on Baldwin. And Baldwin has caught his 4th personal foul so early here in the third quarter. He is going to be put on reserve for a while with that. Frontenac trailing now 34-35. Ball in the hands of Carlton in the right wing, and he launches it for 3, too far. Does not get it to fall, and rebounded by Noah Brooks. Brooks gets the ball to Beckman. Beckman found Franklin. Franklin pushed out of bounds. And Martini picks up his 2nd personal foul on that push. So now driving it inside, a good strong take by Cooper Cleland. And Frontenac gains the lead once more, 36-35, 5:40 left to go here in the third. A retaliation shot by Carlton. (37-36), Frontenac trails by 1. Ball in the hands of Franklin. Franklin to Cleland. Cleland with a behind-the-back pass. And there's a lane or a 3-second in the lane violation by Frontenac. That will give Carthage the ball. Martini inbounds it to Jackson. Jackson across the timeline. He is picked up in a man-to-man defense. And circling around, blocked. Noah Brooks gets a hand on Carlton's shot rather. Decided it was time Carlton stopped getting free looks inside the paint. However, Carthage will retain possession of the ball. They trail 37-36. Oh, I'm sorry, Frontenac trails 37-36 behind Carthage. 5:05 on the clock here in the third quarter. Nice one-handed pass from Martini. Over to Downing. Downing in the right wing. Thought about the three-pointer, did not take it. Now it's Martini. A skip pass to Carlton. Carlton to Downing. Downing for 3. Does not get it to fall. And Jackson tries to save it from going out of bounds, but it will be Frontenac ball. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. Frontenac trails 37-36. It has been a back-and-forth affair this whole time. Hayden Powell goes strong to the basket, rattles it off the rim, gets his own rebound, puts it back up for 2 points, and Powell is on the board here in the third quarter to give Frontenac the lead. 38-37, 4:30 left to go here in the third. Ball rolls out of bounds. Last touch by Carthage. It is an open house here. I'm sorry, a packed house rather. Everybody doing a pretty good job of filling up the seats. Beckman drives inside, gets the ball to Franklin. And Franklin is stuffed at the board. But a foul is called on Martini. No, it's not. It's going to be Jackson that's whistled on the foul. Martini was shaking his head like he thought he had been called. And Franklin is going to open up the third quarter of scoring for himself. Knocks down the first. Looking for the second one. High bounce off the rim and no good. Carthage with the rebound and on the attack. It's Freisinger. And they're going to call a foul. Now Cooper Cleland rallying his teammates behind that foul. And it's stolen away by Huntley. Huntley with a great active hands on defense. Finds Jackson. Jackson for 3. Cannot get it to fall. And Martini tries to go back up for the reverse layup. Shot is no good. He's sent to the line. That's Story on the foul. Martini gets his chance now at his first 2 points of the third quarter. First shot is up and in. And now everyone emerging here on the scoring column for the third quarter. Score is 39-38. Frontenac on top by 1, but Martini could tie it here with this free throw. And he does not. Shot is missed and rebounded by Franklin. And he gets the ball to Cleveland. (39-38). Frontenac leads by 1. Ball in the hands of Cleveland. He finds Pyle. Pyle puts up a shot, cannot connect. Pulled in by Carlton. And now Jackson has the ball to Huntley. Huntley drives inside, throws it back out. And there's a foul on the floor. This one going against Frontenac. That would be Hayden Pyle. His second personal foul. Ready to check back into the game is Noah Brooks. Brooks will give Hayden a seat. Inbounds pass is batted away by an athletic Cooper Cleveland who does not allow much. Timeout is taken by the Carthage bench. You have to see if it's a full or not. It is a full. So a full timeout by Carthage, and we're going to take it with them. We're going to send it back to the studio for 1 minute. You're listening to Radio X 103.5 and watching live on ESPN 1007.com. Back in 1 minute. Welcome back to Frontenac. You just saw the attempted alley-oop by Carthage. Just a little too high for Martini to be able to reel in. And now Cooper Cleveland gets the ball in the right wing. It's over the top and stolen by Martini. Martini handles the ball well for somebody his size. He drives it down the court and hands it off. And now it's a 3-on-3, but quickly turned into 5-on-5 as the defense made it back in time. Foul on the floor, and the Carthage head coach is livid about a non-call or a call against him. Frontenac working from left to right on your radio dial. They're getting an inbounds pass to Cooper Cleveland. Cleveland finds Beckman, and Beckman crosses the half-court line to break the full-court press. Over in the right wing, it's McCartney. And they find Cleveland now at top of the key, and then Beckman. Beckman got the handoff. Tried to get it to Noah Brooks, and instead Martini is going to take it onto the other side of the court for a two-handed flush. Huntley's going to pick up a big foul. Huntley over pursued just a bit, trying to get that steal for some additional points. Carthage is on top, 40-39. My software just left on me for a second. I got a little scared, but we're all good. Cleveland now with the ball. Nearly stolen away by Carthage, but Cleveland with fast hands picks it back up after the attempted pass was swatted. Beckman with the ball, rolls around the perimeter, nearly stopped by Jackson. Beckman drives hard, stutter steps, gets a couple of defenders to whiff, and it's last touch by Carthage, Frontenac ball. Actually a shooting foul as Beckman went up for the shot. A chance for Beckman to tie or take the lead. Misses his first, so now he has an opportunity to tie. Beckman has not scored here in the third quarter just yet. But that has changed now with a sunk free throw. All tied up now, 40 all. Both teams scoring 7 points since the intermission. This has been a defensive battle for sure. Off in the near side wing, that's Templeman. His first appearance in the ball game so far. The whole Frontenac fan section looking for a traveling violation on Freisinger. But they get something similar in the turnover. Lots of mental mistakes, not so much physical mistakes here by the Carthage Tigers. Some housekeeping things that could really keep them, they could have put them quite a ways ahead in this ball game if they had had them cleaned up. Lob over the top to Noah Brooks. Brooks gets it inside for 2 points. Great job by Noah Brooks, muscling through a couple of defenders and getting his name in the scoring column for the third quarter. 42-40. Frontenac leads. Carthage has the ball on their own baseline. Lob over. That's going to be in the hands of Carlton. Carlton looks over the top and tries to find Huntley, but instead there's going to be a foul on the floor. This one against Frontenac. And that's going to send Carlton. That will send Carlton to the line. A foul on Brooks. That's his second personal foul. Team sixth. Both teams with 6 team fouls. Carlton has scored 4 here in the third quarter. Looking to get his 5th as he misses the first. 1:28 left to go here in the third quarter. Score is 42-40. Substitution for the Raiders. Cooper Cleland checks in. Gives Bridwell a break. Carlton with his second free throw. The crowd getting loud. And he knocks it down to bring that should just be a 1 point. That should be a 1 point advantage still for Frontenac, but the scoreboard is showing 42 instead of 41. It was 42-40. And the referee is coming over now to change that up. I believe that's what he's doing. Regardless, it'll be Frontenac ball after this official timeout. 1:23 on the clock. Still deliberating on the table, and they do take the point off of Carthage. Inbounds pass, it's Cleland, and he finds Hayden Pyle, who could not quite reel in the pass. Unfortunate, but a turnover for the Frontenac Raiders. And now, Carthage Tigers with an opportunity to take the lead. Lob over the top to Jackson. Jackson over, now Huntley. Huntley for three, does not get it to fall. And McCartney gets the rebound. Cross-court pass to Powell. Powell reels it in, tries to get it over to Beckman. And it's Cooper Cleland who drives into the paint, but he's going to be called on the charge, so that shot will not count. Score is still 42-41. A minute and 7 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Ball in the hands of Huntley now to Jackson. Jackson crosses the half-court line, picked up by Pyle. Cross-court pass. It's Downing. And for some reason, Cooper Cleland tried to tiptoe out of bounds and push the ball back inbounds.
Back in for Carthage, Morgan Friesinger.
And Freisinger comes back into the game. Jackson crosses the half-court line, finds Huntley. Huntley really wanted that three-pointer, but he's not going to take it. He has not been very successful from distance today. Carthage trying a dribble drive approach, and finally they find Jackson in the paint for 2 points, and that gives Carthage their first lead in a little while. 30 seconds on the clock. Pyle finds it inside. It's McCartney. McCartney puts it up off the glass. It's no good. Rebounded by Carlton. Carlton crosses the half-court line. He's just got to slow things down here. Jackson's got the ball at the top of the key, picked up by two Raider defenders, namely Cleveland. Cleveland staying active on defense. Downing now with the ball over to Jackson. Jackson to Huntley. Huntley to Jackson. Jackson tries for three, launches it, no good off the backside of the iron. And a foul is not going to be called. No shot. The score is 43-42. Carthage on top by 1 point. This is a nail-biter, ladies and gentlemen. As we enter the fourth quarter of play, both sides getting a little frustrated, a little heated. They are going to call a foul on number 20. That's on McCartney. He's going to step on the line. Jackson is going to step on the line. First shot is up and no good. And not much scoring has been going on here as of late. And I haven't been keeping great track of who's been doing what. Second shot was made by Jackson as we end the third quarter. And we will send it back to the station for a 1 minute break. When we return, we will begin the final quarter of regulation. You're listening to 103.5 Radio X as well as watching live on ESPN1007.com.
Back to action with Frontenac Raiders basketball on Radio X 103.5. The
Opening night for the 2018-2019 season here in Frontenac, Kansas for the Raiders. Not opening night for the Carthage Tigers. They've already played three. This will be their fourth contest of the season. But they lead right now 44-42 over the Raiders. As we see Huntley take a three. No good. Rebounded by Noah Brooks. And it's pulled in by Cleveland off the outlet pass. Cleveland met by some tough defense. Finds Beckman. Brooks gets the pump fake on Martini, but he cannot lay it in for two to tie the ball game. it's picked off. The full court pass is picked off by Cooper Cleland. Cleland puts it up off the glass. And Brooks gets a hold of it, and he finds the rim to tie the ball game. Brooks with his first 2 points, the first 2 points of the fourth quarter. And that gives Frontenac the 1 point lead, 44-43 over the Carthage Tigers. Tigers drive in, and it is none other than Downing who puts in 2, and that gives Carthage the lead now. Working back and forth here, trying to keep track of the scoreboard and keep my eyes on the court. 46 should be 45-44. Maybe not. 46-44 is the score. Yeah, it is. It is. But Pyle has the ball at the top of the key. Head fakes Carlton. Carlton thought he got rid of the ball, but instead it's going to be Noah Brooks who puts up the reverse layup. Shot is no good, however. A couple missed opportunities there for the Frontenac Raiders. Martini grabs the rebound and he gets the ball over to Jackson. Jackson to Downing for 3, and Downing cannot sink from distance. 46-44, still the score. Frontenac down by 2 with 6 minutes and 10 seconds left to go here in the ball game, or in regulation rather. Ball is batted out of bounds. Last touch by Carthage, so Frontenac will get possession of the ball. It's Cleland with the ball, and he finds Baldwin. Baldwin trying to play a little timid here, as he does have 4 personal fouls on him. Shot down low, pass down low to Baldwin rather. He was looking for Noah Brooks. Brooks comes in and trying to get a shot up, but he's going to be fouled and sent to the charity stripe for 2. A chance to tie this ball game for the Frontenac Raiders. 6 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock. Brooks, shot up and good. So that brings it within 1. Second shot is underway. Chance to tie up this ball game, as we've seen it tied all too many times. Second shot goes in and right back out. Kicks out, so Frontenac stays behind by 1. Carthage has the ball, and it's Jackson at the top of the key. Jackson setting up his offense, giving a couple of hand signals, and now it's Carlton. Carlton on the left wing skips it over to Downing. Downing drives into the paint, tries to put it up, and the shot is good, plus the foul. So 2 points with the and 1.
Foul on Noah Brooks. Downing going to the line for the bonus.
Now Carthage on top by 3. They're really hoping that this shot by Downing does not fall, and it does. 49-45. And it is a full timeout taken by Frontenac, and we're going to take it with them. We're going to send it back to the station for 1 minute. You're listening to Radio X 103.5, as well as watching live on ESPN 1007.com.
Companies, customer first, safety
Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas, where your Raiders are trailing by 4 points, 49-45. And just as I said that, Jake Beckman runs it in for an easy 2 points, and that brings it within 2, 49-47, as I adjust my score bug here on the bottom side of your screen if you're watching on ESPN1007.com. Carthage with the ball now. It's Martini at the top of the key. Martini's working against Noah Brooks. Brooks able to stay in front of him, and that forced Martini to try to take a long outside hook shot with his right hand. I'm not so sure that he's comfortable with that shot. Nonetheless, it does send him to the line for 2 chances from the charity stripe. By the way, that is Hayden Pyle's 3rd personal foul. Team's first of the half, actually. Frontenac has done an excellent job of not getting into foul trouble here in the second half, whereas Carthage has committed 7 fouls and has already put Frontenac in the single bonus. Martini with an opportunity here from the line. First shot is up and good. Martini has done a great job all around the board. Defensively, from the stripe, offensively. Second one is off target. Ball is batted out of bounds by Frontenac. So Carthage will take over. By the way, for those watching on the ESPN website, when we go to commercial break, you will not hear commercials, and more often than not, I will leave the camera on in case the game starts back up before we are done with our commercial break on the radio station. Frontenac back on the attack, down by 3. It's 50-47 in favor of Carthage. Just nearly losing the ball was Beckman, but he reels it back in and gets it to Cleland. Cleland to Baldwin. Again, Baldwin has to play safe. He's got 4 personal fouls, 1 more, and he's done for the game. Baldwin gets low to the ground and crosses up his defender. A Euro stepping up and off the glass for 2 points. Baldwin brings it in within 1. What a move by Baldwin, and in a crucial time. His team has been without him for much of the game due to his foul trouble early on. And Martini's going to pick up a foul, I believe. Yeah, 32 will pick up a foul, and that will be Martini's 3rd personal foul. No, 4th personal foul. So he is 1 foul away from being out of the game as well, and that could spell big trouble for the Carthage Tigers. He's the best defensive and offensive player that I've seen thus far. We see Cleland driving into the paint, losing his dribble, and it rolls out of bounds. So it's Carthage ball, 50-49, with 4 minutes and 5 seconds left to go here in regulation. Jackson with the ball. He finds Huntley. Huntley in the right wing, back up to Martini, the top of the key. And it looks like Carlton's going to be whistled on a 3-second violation inside the lane. Hayden Pyle checks back into the ball game for the Raiders. And Cleland, no. Baldwin takes the ball across the half-court line. Gets it inside to Hayden Pyle. Pyle out to Baldwin. Baldwin for the long 2, does not connect with it. And now a transition opportunity for Carthage. Carthage, by none other than Downing, takes it across the court and puts it in for 2 points to extend the lead by 3 now. 52-49. Frontenac's going to need at least 3 points to get back in this. And being forced to take long-distance shots is not a position any team wants to be in. Baldwin with the ball. He gets it over to Franklin. Franklin inside to Baldwin. And Baldwin has been exploding here ever since he came back off the bench. One of the more talented players on this roster. However, he got himself into foul trouble early, and that has resulted in less time on the court for him. And just as I say that, Baldwin goes up for a block shot. Got a little aggressive on that. We're going to see if they're going to call him on that foul. No, they will not.
The foul whistle against
They're going to call that foul on number 13. Fortunately for Baldwin, that would have been it for him. That's Franklin's second personal foul, team's second. Of the half, rather. No, that's Franklin's third personal, team second. They have not changed the team fouls on the scoreboard. Second shot is good by Huntley, and that has extended this game even further. Score is 54 to 51. And we're going to keep it right here on that timeout. I did not see if they called for a full or a 30-second. But with 2 minutes and 53 seconds left on the clock, down by 3 are the Frontenac Raiders. You still have Baldwin, and you better take advantage of him while he's here. That last foul just about came in, and that would have spelled for some serious trouble for the Frontenac Raiders. However, he is still in the ball game. Everyone's got... I'm sweating a little bit. Baldwin's got 10 points. Cleveland has 9. And those are the leading scorers so far for Frontenac. But on the other side of the ball, for Carthage, you've got 3 players on the court right now, both all in double-digit scoring. You've got number 3, which is Downing. Downing has 12 points. Number 23, Carlton, has 10. And the big man standing at 6'7", number 32, Martini, has 19 points. We are just getting out of that little timeout that was taken by the Frontenac Raiders. Cross-court pass is going all the way to Hayden Pyle. He's just going to be able to save it in time. And the whistle's going to say he did not. I thought for sure he had it saved right before he stepped out of bounds, but he most certainly did not, and that's going to go over to Carthage. Carthage is going to try to chew as much time off this clock as they can with the 3-point lead they retain. Pass over to the left wing, and that's Downing. Downing gets it back to Jackson. Jackson's going to be whistled on the traveling violation. This is big for Frontenac, huge for Frontenac. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock in regulation. Frontenac down by only 3 points, and the inbounds pass just came. Baldwin just hedging over to the left, and he finally takes the handoff near the top of the key, and a push-off. They're not going to call a push-off. They're going to call a blocking foul on Carthage. That's number 3, Downing, and a technical whistle follows directly after. This is insane. 3 is going to get called on the block. That's going to be a 1-and-1, and then a technical will be whistled on number 3 as well. That's 2 technical fouls that have been issued to Carthage this game. One was put on Carlton. This one put on Downing. No, this one put on Carlton. Last one was put on Downing, I believe. And 2 free throws are going to come, and Baldwin is going to be handling those. Knocks down the first one. And this is what you hope to see out of your senior leader. Some late shots and a little bit of control, keeping yourself from fouling out when you've been given 4 personal fouls. One more will take you out of the ball game, and he's been playing the whole fourth quarter kind of timidly. But now he's stretched within 1, and with that 3rd consecutive free throw, he has tied the game, and he gets a 4th now. And just like that, he has sunk 4 consecutive free throws to put the Frontenac Raiders up by 1 point with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. My goodness. It doesn't get much better than that, and Frontenac takes a timeout, a full timeout at that. We're going to take it with him. Send it back to the station, Jacob. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're listening to Radio X 103.5, as well as watching live on ESPN 1007.com. As we get back into action here, Frontenac Raiders have the ball on their side of the court. Beckman's going to be tied up with Downing, and that's going to cause a jump ball. The jump ball indicator pointing towards Frontenac. So fortunate for them, they do not lose this possession. And Cleland finds an open man. Hayden Pyle over in the right wing. He's going to do a pump fake and a turnaround. Gets it up just off the backside of the iron and cannot connect with the shot. And a big hit's going to be taken over there on the near sideline. That was an aggressive move to get the ball. I don't know if the officials are going to rule that as a play on the ball or a technical. They're just going to rule it a play on the ball. Honestly, I don't think anybody would have faulted them if they'd have called that a technical. That was a shot on the near sideline. I don't know if Austin caught that on camera. Did you catch that? That looked rough. Did you catch that hit over there on the near sideline? He did. Okay. That's good news, at least for us, not really for the free throw purposes here. 55 to 54. Frontenac leads by 1. This free throw is up and in to tie the game. By the way, that's Downing at the line. He's scored 7 points already here in the fourth quarter alone. Hadn't scored since the first quarter, and he puts up another one to give the Carthage Tigers a 1-point lead. Adjusting my scoreboard here, 56 to 55. 2 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of time for both of these ball clubs to get some points on the board. Baldwin's got the ball off the inbounds pass. Cleland now crosses the half-court line. And a bounce pass to Baldwin. Baldwin rises up off the glass with a little flavor on that shot. That's what we like to see here in Raider Nation. And the Raiders are back up 57 to 56. And Baldwin has just come alive here in this fourth quarter. A foul called on the floor by the floor judge. There's a push on the ground. They're going to call that against Hayden Pyle. That's Pyle's fourth personal foul. So I'll try to find my foul marks here. Martini misses his first free throw. This second one could tie the ball game for the Tigers. What a home opener. What a season opener for the Frontenac Raiders. Coming against a slightly larger school with a little more rich tradition in basketball. As he misses his second shot, Martini go back on defense. And a shot by Brooks is no good and given back to the Tigers. Long distance three, no good by Huntley. The Raiders will take back over. They lead by a point. They can try to chew some time off of this clock if they so choose. Brooks with the ball. Gets it over to Pyle at the top of the key. Inside to Brooks with a power dribble. Tries to get a step over. I don't know about that traveling call. I think he had 1 foot planted, but the ref calls what he sees, and he had a little bit of a better vantage point than I did. So a turnover for the Raiders, and now the Carthage Tigers have 1 minute and 8 seconds to make up that 1 point that they fall behind with. Look over to Martini in the left wing. Now it is Carlton at the top of the key. They find Downing in the left. He goes to the top and bounce pass to Martini. Martini thought about a three-pointer, I think. Chose not to make that decision. And a timeout is called by Carthage's head coach. It is a full timeout, and we will take it with him. You are listening to Radio X 103.5 as well as watching live on ESPN1007.com. We're going to take a 1 minute timeout, and we'll be back with the end of the fourth quarter.
That's 620-232-3120.
World Class Sports, the area's new premier indoor sports training facility with over 12,000 square feet of space. World Class Sports offers individual and team rentals, private and team instruction, and more. Book your training session or rental today at wc-sports.com.
Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas. We are in a tight-knit ball game here, ladies and gentlemen, as the Carthage Tigers try to get the inbounds pass, and Cooper Cleland just taps it right back and throws it out of bounds. It's still going to be Carthage ball, but a little bit of time was chipped off. Lob back over the top. It's Martini with the ball, and Brooks is on top of him. Stolen away by Baldwin, and Huntley is going to be whistled on the foul. Since Frontenac is in the double bonus, Baldwin, definitely the team's best free throw shooter, is going to head back to the line for a chance at 2 more shots. And this could be the icing on the cake that the Frontenac Raiders needed. If Baldwin sinks both of these, that'll make it a 3-point advantage, and Carthage will be forced to go for 3. He does, in fact, sink the first. 10 points for Baldwin here in the fourth quarter. This guy has come alive, and he has done it without fouling. Second shot is up and in. 11 points for Baldwin here in the fourth, and the Frontenac Raiders lead by 3 with 38 seconds left to go. Ball at the top of the key by Downing. He finds Huntley. Huntley back to Downing. Downing takes the 3 and knocks it down. It is a tie ball game, 59-59. Oh my goodness. We might be heading into overtime unless the Frontenac Raiders are able to put forth some offense here. A full timeout has been called, but we're going to keep it. Oh no, it's going to be a 30-second timeout rather. So we definitely will keep it here. 59-59, 29.3 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter of action for the season opener for the Frontenac Raiders. The Frontenac Raiders are trying to go 1-0 to start the season, and they're trying to make Carthage fall to 2-2. Carthage has already taken 2 big wins over some lesser opponents, you might say. They fought off Jasper in a pretty, they handled that pretty well. They had lost to Joplin, which no one can fault them for that. Joplin is a phenomenal program. And here they are tonight against the Frontenac Raiders, trying to improve to 3-1 on the season. But not if Frontenac has something to say about it. Ball will be in the hands of Cooper Cleland to give the inbounds pass. Again, 59-59, 29.3 seconds left to go. Inbound to Hayden Pyle. Back to Cleland. Cleland working slowly against his point guard counterpart. And it's in the hands of Baldwin. 18 seconds left to go. Baldwin's going to try to stretch this possession out for as long as he possibly can. Carthage trying not to foul because they do not want to send Baldwin back to the free throw line. 7 seconds left in the game, and just like that, a foul committed by Huntley. Could not have come at a better time. 6.2 seconds left. I think that was going to be intentional because they did not want Frontenac to have the last shot. This way, they at least get a possession, and they might get a possession where they can get ahead, assuming that Beckman does not hit both of these. And if he does hit both of these, they still have a chance at getting ahead, whereas Frontenac was wanting to just hold on to the ball until the last second. Beckman misses the first free throw. This is huge. This is pivotal. Shot is no good. Carthage has the ball, and they are driving up the court. It's in the hands of Martini in the right wing. They need to stop Martini. Shot is no good, and we're heading into overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Jacob Ryan back in the studio. I'm sorry, but you got to sit there for a little bit longer. We've got some free ball. That's what they call that free baseball in baseball when you go to extra innings. This is free basketball. You go to overtime. I'm not sure what the intermission is going to be like between this and the start of overtime, but we're going to go ahead and take a 1-minute break. When we return, you will hear the overtime call. I see now, by the way, I was thinking that Frontenac only had one personal foul. I knew that could not be true, but One scoreboard has them as one personal foul. One scoreboard has them at 10, which is the max they'll put on the scoreboard. So let's take a 30-second timeout. When we come back, we'll have overtime here in Frontenac, Kansas. Take it away, Jacob. Brooks and Martini set to jump it off for the second time today. And there it is. Martini got it no problem, just pushed it right on over. And that's an easy 2 points by Carleton. So now Frontenac on the attack, and they have to play this patiently. They don't quite get the advantage of that tip ball that Martini gave them. A drive on the baseline, a reverse layup, and inside for Jake Beckman. What a play by Beckman to tie this ball game up. 61 to 61. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. Martini takes a three-pointer. Did not think I'd be saying that today. The 6'7" post player took a three-pointer in overtime. Beckman with the ball in the right wing. He's driving inside, and he's going to be whistled on the charge. Beckman will pick up another personal foul. That's just his second, so he is in no jeopardy of fouling out anytime soon. 3 minutes flat left to go here in overtime. 61 to 61. And rising up for the two is Jackson, and he's gonna be called on the foul. 2 charges in a row, one on each side of the court. And Jackson picks up his third personal foul. A great effort by Frontenac defensively, because that would have been 2 more points for the Tigers. 2:51 on the clock now. Cleaning up the sweat on the floor a little bit. Everybody in this gymnasium on their feet and going nuts every time anything happens. Makes it hard to hear myself think, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Baldwin taking the ball across the half-court line now. He is picked up by Downing. We have Cleveland with the ball inside. Now Baldwin is trapped in, and he's going to be whistled on the 3-second violation inside the lane. Turnover after turnover after turnover on each side of the court. And we are still knotted up at 61 with 2:35 left to go in the fourth, or in overtime rather. I'm going to go ahead and switch that on our score bug. There we go. Now we have the OT there instead of the fourth. Inside pass to Jackson. Turnaround jump shot, no good. Rebounded by Brooks. No, it's Pyle. And a push is going to be called. That'll be called on number 23, Carleton. It's Carleton's third personal foul, I believe. Could be wrong. Yes, it is his third. It is indeed his third. Shot is up and in by Pyle, and that will give Frontenac the lead. Pyle's first points here past the third quarter, I should say. And the shot is good for 2 points. And a 2-point advantage the Raiders hold with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the fourth. Jackson drives to the right and dishes it out to Martini for another 3-point attempt, and he still cannot hit. Frontenac fighting for the ball, and Beckman can't even stand. He's got 2 players wrapped around his ankles. trying to get a hold of the ball, and I'll see if this is a foul or not. It is not. It is not a foul, and I think that's good. Referees telling the student section / fan club to back up off the sideline a little bit. Cleland on the baseline, finds Pyle. Back to Cleland. Cleland crosses the half-court line, picked up by Jackson. And now it's Beckman at the top of the key. Shoot it over and find Cleland again at the top of the key, who has played a majority of this game as point guard. And he finds Baldwin. Baldwin, an inside pass, thought he was fouled. Cleland is signaling for the play, ignoring the no whistle, is what we'll call it. Inside to Pyle. Pyle with a turnaround shot, knocks it down. A 4-point advantage for the Frontenac Raiders. 65-61 with 1:30 left on the clock. Jackson has the ball at the top of the key, and it's over in the right wing, now in the hands of Downing. Back to Freisinger. Downing takes a distance three and cannot connect. Pyle gets tied up with Carlton. I think there's a foul on the floor, possibly. No, there's not. It's simply a jump ball, and the signal is indicating Carthage gets the ball. Timeout is taken by Coach Ryan Barcelona from the Frontenac bench. I believe it is a full. It is a full, so we'll take it with him. Back to the studio for 1 minute. You're listening to 103.5 and ESPN 1007.com. Welcome back to Frontenac, Kansas, where we're in overtime. 1:10 left on the clock, and Frontenac leads 65-61. Inside, attempted jam by Jackson. I didn't know he had it in him, but he just about tomahawked that ball into the goal. Instead, he misses the shot, and Carlton tries to get the putback shot. He is fouled. Shot is no good, but he's sent to the charity stripe for 2 shots. 1:05. He can decrease this lead to just 2 if he sinks both of these. But if he doesn't, this is going to come down. This is going to be a KU-style game. Both these coaches know very well how to extend a game and how to keep control out of one or the other, and that's by fouling late in the game, especially in an overtime game this close. If both of these shots are made, it would not surprise me whatsoever if a foul is immediately ensuing. But Frontenac has shot very well from the free throw line, so if that is the case, I am confident in their ability to seal this one away. First shot is up and in for Carlton. Second shot underway. It is up and also in. Carlton coming in clutch with these free throws with 1:05 left. 65-63. Frontenac on the attack. Carthage is coming out in a full court press. They have Freisinger as well as Jackson in the backcourt. Inside pass to Beckman. Beckman finds Baldwin, and Baldwin is going to take over. He hands it off to Cleland. Cleland working against Downing. Hensley in the game for the Raiders. Haven't seen him in a little while. He has yet to score. Baldwin gets the pass over the top to Hensley. Back to Baldwin, top of the key. And a timeout is called by Frontenac. A 30-second timeout at that, so we'll keep it right here. 36.6 seconds left in the game. Frontenac has the ball, up by 2 here in overtime in Frontenac, Kansas. The season opener for both the boys and the girls contest. The girls fell short to a very, very talented Lady Tigers program. The Lady Tigers advanced to 5-1 on the season. Their only loss to Joplin. And this has been a back and forth affair all night long. At the end of the first quarter, it was tied. At the end of half, it was tied. At the end of the third quarter, it was tied. And now we enter the fourth quarter, or now we pass the fourth quarter where it was tied, and we enter overtime. The final 35 seconds. And a foul has been called. Checking into the ball game is Franklin. Franklin had a couple points early in the first, had a point in the second, and a point in the third, totaling out to 4. Sitting at the line now is Hensley. Has not shot at all today. But 2 good shots from the free throw line here could seal the deal. First shot is no good. A made shot here would force Carthage to shoot for 3, as they did at the end of regulation. But it's still a low percentage shot. Shot is no good, but it's secured by Brooks. And Brooks will get fouled immediately. And Brooks is a little more adept free throw shooter, despite his size, standing at 6'7". 34.2 seconds left. Raiders are on top by 2. First free throw is good, 66-63. And I was late on crediting Carthage with their 2 points from earlier. Second free throw is good by Brooks. 67-63. It's a 4-point advantage for the Raiders. And now it's desperation time for the Carthage Tigers. In the left wing, it's Downing. Now Jackson fires the 3 from distance, and he knocks it down. 21 seconds. And Jackson has hit these shots at the most opportune time for his team. A full timeout is called. It has been just the most exhilarating season opener I've ever seen. You hardly ever see a team come out with this much tenacity for their very first game. There's always some growing pains. And you know what? There might be some growing pains, but you can't see it. You've only seen tenacity, and you know what? Hats off to Baldwin. Blaine Baldwin, the 6'2" senior, came into the third quarter with 4 fouls and did not play a lick. No, he did play. He got 1 free throw in that third quarter. Did not play hardly at all in the second quarter. Came into the fourth quarter, and since the beginning of the fourth quarter has scored 11 points. 11 of the 67 points that Frontenac has. That's just in the fourth. In the first quarter, he had 5, so now he is sitting at 16 points. What a night for Blaine Baldwin. Inbounds pass is going to be coming from Cleland. He's going to run alongside the baseline, and it's stolen away by Carthage. And it's put in for 2 points. Carthage is on top by 2. 68-67. Now Frontenac on the panic. They're driving inside. And it's not a traveling violation. It's put up and in by Cooper Cleland. A fake 3-pointer by Brooks opened up, and that shot is up and in. The buzzer beater just in time for Carthage on the transition. 70-69. That is the final score from Frontenac, Kansas. Both of these teams battled long and hard, and Frontenac just unable to make that final defensive stop when the last few seconds were ticking down. Your heart breaks for these young Raiders, but oh my goodness, what a battle. What a battle. 70 to, I am beside myself. A transition to beat the buzzer. The ball left his hands milliseconds before the buzzer sounded, banked off the glass and went inside for 2. And that's what you want to see out of a season opener. Frontenac falls to 0-1 on the season, and Carthage advances to 3-1. Well, Jacob, I'm going to step aside for 3 minutes. Give me a 3-minute break. I'm going to go down to the scorers table and make sure that the scores I have on my sheet correlate with the scores they have on theirs. I will come back up. I will give you a recap of our broadcast schedule over here for the next week, as well as the game recap here in Frontenac. And yeah, I don't have a whole lot I can say. I have nothing bad to say about either one of these teams. They both battled so hard and came back from behind. Both teams came back from behind a couple of times. Wow. But anyway, let's take that 3-minute break. When we come back, we'll go over game stats as well as what's happening around the area and in our upcoming broadcast schedule. You are listening to 103.5 Radio X as well as 1007.com or ESPN1007.com. 3 minutes and we're back.
Check us out at commercebank.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter for tips on making the most of life.
And we're back here in Frontenac, Kansas. Final score once again of that ball game, 70-69 in favor of the Carthage Tigers. Sorry about that. If you guys were waiting on me, I was down by the scorers table. There's a couple other people besides myself that wanted to get a hold of those scores, but we're going to go through a wrap-up real quick. Your scoring leaders from both sides. Let's start with the Carthage Tigers, the victors of this contest. Huntley ended with 5 points. Jackson ended with 11. Downing ended with 16. Carlton with 14, and the big man, the 6'7", the tail of the tape as far as what Frontenac needed to look out for on both sides of the ball. Number 32 ended with 19 points. For Frontenac, Baldwin ended with 18 points, and he didn't even play in the second quarter, barely played in the third quarter. He had 5 points in the first, 1 point in the third, and then 12 points down the stretch. What a night for Baldwin, and he's got a better understanding now of what he can and cannot do with his ability from a fouling standpoint. Cleveland ended with 9 points, a great outing for him. He took great control of the ball and did excellent in all regards. I have no complaints from really anybody on this ball club. Franklin ended with 4 points, a respectable 4. Beckman ended with 12, number 15, who did an outstanding job as well. Hayden Pyle ended with 10. And finally, Noah Brooks ended with 16. Him and Baldwin led the way for the Raiders. In the area, let's talk about our broadcast schedule and what we'll be doing at ESPN 1007.com, as well as our affiliated radio stations and the works. So on tonight, the Colgan Panthers were at Liberal, and I'm still waiting for a final on that game from Shelby White. You can probably go still check that out at ESPN1007.com, or on 1340 AM you can hear his call of that game if it's not already over. Again, that game at Liberal. But coming up on Tuesday, Frontenac hosts Lewisburg. I'll be calling that game along with Austin Souter, my cameraman, and Jacob Ryan back at the studio. We'll all be a part of that broadcast. Pittsburgh High hosts Parsons. Shelby White will be the play-by-play. Avi Sharma will be the color commentator and cameraman. Then on the 13th, just 2 days after, Frontenac will host Prairie View. Once again, Austin and I will be here. I will be a play-by-play. Austin will be camera. The 14th, Pittsburgh High hosts Chanute, and Colgan hosts Baxter Springs. Avi Sharma on that Pittsburgh High game, and Shelby on that Colgan game. And that is about it for the next week and a half or so. Actually, that'll be the next full week of action here on ESPN 1007.com, as well as our affiliated radio stations. CNC matchups in the league. Baxter Springs was at Quapaw today. Carthage was here. Columbus at St. Paul. That'll be an interesting game. Riverton at Neodesha, a little bit of TRL and TVL matchup right there. Colgan at Liberal, as I said, and then on Tuesday, Baxter Springs will be at Erie, Cherryville at Columbus, Galena will be at Lamar. Like I said, Lewisburg will be here at Frontenac, and Riverton will be at Oswego. On the 13th, Frontenac gets another home game. Lacine Prairie View will be here at Frontenac. Columbus at Riverton will be on Friday the 14th. Colgan at Baxter will be on the 14th as well. And then Saturday, the Frontenac boys will play versus Neosho, Missouri at Webb City. And that's the four-state shootout tournament. And that is pretty much it for myself, Heath Adkins, and for Austin Souter, my cameraman, my awesome board operator back in the studio, Jacob Ryan, pushing all the buttons and eating pizza and keeping us on the air. Thank you all for this opportunity and this broadcast. Tough day for Raider Nation. Lost by 1 point in overtime, but what a battle between these two teams, and we look forward to seeing this team in the season moving forward. Best of luck to them, and good night, everybody, from Frontenac, Kansas. Signing off is Heath Adkins, Austin Souter, and Jacob Ryan. Good night, everyone.